Hey everybody, how are we doing? I can still hear volume going on somewhere or other, but that's probably me playing something on someone else. I've got about 3 monitors set up here at the moment. It's all a bit nuts, it really is. But anyway, how the devil are you all doing? This is a bit of a special one. This, I mean, to a certain degree, every single London calling is a special one. It really is in its own right. We've hit a new milestone, 140. That's 140 straight Fridays, folks. Another 16 to go, and it's been 3 years exactly that I've done every single Friday. How cool is that? Anyway, what makes this particularly cool is, of course, I'm doing it all with you lovely lot out there as well. So I'll be saying a little hello to you guys and girls in just a minute. But I just want to let you know, obviously we've got a special guest on tonight, a chap by the name of Chris Stab from Lego, and he happens to be not only the designer for these lovely things called Speed Champions, which, of course, you guys know, I am a champion of Speed Champions. Kind of goes, doesn't it? But he's also done a bit of work on the art sets and Ninjago, the movie, the Destiny's Bounty. I haven't had it out for ages, folks, but there you go. There it is. And you know what? Not a lot of people know this, but that is actually the only set that I'm allowed to have downstairs. Can you believe that? But there it is. It's down here. But anyway, it's down here for now. So this evening, my wife is Lego free, at least downstairs anyway. But yeah, what a weekend. We've had some interesting sets come out. We've got the new Lego Idea set. That's kind of an interesting one. I'm kind of glad they've done it, but kind of not necessarily interested in buying it. So I'll be dead interested to know what you lot out there think as well. As always, folks, as always, of course, we will be showing off some of your pictures as well. If you'd like to show off your pictures, do send them to me. Do DM me. I'm going to be actually showing a few pictures that people have sent me earlier on as well, which is going to be good and fun. So I'm looking forward to that. You know, changing things around a little bit. Plus, it makes it a little bit easier to show it off. And as always, folks, if you do want to support the channel, we've got a couple of different ways of doing it. You can either join and become a bigger part, a kind of a slightly more immersive part of the LBB family on the Discords and all those sort of things and those private member streams, or of course, you can give us a super chat. I'll stick your name up there on the London wall. And of course, I'll give you a very special thank you later on in the week on Instagram. That's the way it goes, folks. And everybody who's going to be on tonight, do check them out, folks. All their details are down in the description below. And you know what? Every single one of them, right, apart from the special guest, that is on Instagram. So do check them out, folks. It's really important. And then in the meantime, I can say a big warm hello to you lovely lot out there. We've got Gazza out there, aka the minifig who. We've got Nicole as well. Good to see you, Nicole. She's going to be on as well later. She's going to be in a new place as well, folks. Got a new room and everything. We've got the Chris Fozzie Ball Chalice evening. Evening who? Evening all. We've got KO out there as well. He sent me some pictures earlier on. We've got Macro Bricks out there. Cheers, good day and happy weekend. See you all soon. Mitty Bricks is out there as well. Mitty, I saw a UCS looking Millennium Falcon earlier on your feed. Tell us a little bit about that, my friend. Is this live? CabbageFace, is this live? It is indeed very live, my friend. Cool. Who's this? Anthony Netzel. He said, hey, everyone, been a while. Haven't had much time for Lego. Been working on house projects. Almost finished. We'll be organising the Lego shelves tonight and dusting to get ready for the Razor Crest. Indeed, it has arrived for you. And what a set it is as well, my friend. It is a stonker. I've seen it. I actually took it apart in the Lego store this week, funny enough. I should put some more pictures up about that. But tonight, folks, it is really all about Speed Champions and what the heck we've all been up to this week. It really is. Meaty Bricks is good to go. Chris Howard is saying, is this live? It certainly is. We've got Lester out there as well. Good to see you, Lester. Red Carnage saying, good evening, Greg. Lovely to see you, my friend. Aston Martin fan is here as well. Aston Martin. What are we building today? Well, we've got a few people on here that are going to be building a few Speed Champion sets, which is kind of pretty cool, isn't it? 40 watching, but 18 likes. Hit that button, everyone. And yeah, please do, folks. While you're out there, do us a favor. It really helps the channel. It helps me. It helps everyone who's involved, to be honest. It does these strange, mysterious things with the algorithm. So thank you for that one, Brickstud. Do appreciate you saying that. We've got Brick Bods out there as well. So anyway, on that note, let's start getting some people in, shall we? Right, who am I going to get in first? I'll tell you who I'm going to get in first. Someone who hasn't been on the channel for a few weeks. Because she's been moving, folks. She's been moving. Not only herself, but all those Lego sets as well. Let's bring her on, shall we? It is our good friend from Germany, Nicole, a.k.a. Lady Macbrick. Hello, you.
Hi there. How are you doing?
All right, very well. Look at you in your new snazzy room.
Yeah. But so far, only living room. With time, you will see the Lego room. And I have exciting news about that.
Oh, do you? You have exciting news about that. It's all very exciting anyway, it is, seeing all these new things. But anyway, how you been? Have you survived? Very briefly, have you survived the last 3 weeks okay?
Just barely. I can tell you, moving is nothing for the weak-minded. It's hard work.
The weak-minded. I tell you, there is nothing easy about moving. The tax alone puts me off, and I've moved about 12 times over the last sort of 15 years. So yeah, I'm quite happy to stay put. I really am. But yeah, that is the way it goes. It is hard work. That said, Nicole, I've never moved with any amount of Lego before. So if I did move now, it would be significant. It really would be. So anyway, where would you like to go next? We've got UK, we've got America, we've got Ireland, we've got UK, Southampton, or we've got New Zealand. Where would you like to go?
Let's go to New Zealand.
Go New Zealand. Of course, it's no longer Friday in New Zealand, folks. It is, of course, Saturday, and it's probably very early in the morning. Anyway, he's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. It is, of course, Richard, a.k.a. BrickScene. Hello, mate.
You're a very good liar, mate. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed is far from
I'm just picking you up, that's all. How you doing? You're looking very well.
Good. No, it's it's a morning, I can tell you that.
Is it still dark where you are?
No. We put our clocks back last week, I think it was. So
okay.
This is slightly better for me, being a 7:30 start instead of a 6:30 start.
Dude, 7:30. That's a lay-in for you then.
Oh, mate, yeah, I was going to say that's tomorrow for you, isn't it?
Yeah, dude. I mean, no, but 7:30 is all right though. That's not too bad at all. That's really. I mean, still, I wouldn't want to do a Zoom call, let alone being on a panel for a Lego channel, but.
The things we do for you, Greg. The things we do for you, Sunshine.
We do indeed. You do indeed. But I know you're like a piston head. I know you said something else very quickly then.
Piston head, yeah.
And you were like one of my first choices to get on here tonight, my friend. And now it's your choice to get someone else on. So where would you like to go next? We've got. Right, I was going to say we can't go there. I was going to say someone who's very sweaty, but we can't go there yet. We've got somewhere very up north. We've got somewhere in America who's trying to work from home at the moment. Or we've got Ireland, or we've got Southampton.
Go to the land of lard.
The land of lard.
North.
Oh, up north. I was going to say, blimey, that could
give me mitt on.
Hold on a minute. that was too vague for me to pinpoint who to go to. Anyway,
that could have meant anyone. Just take a picture.
Sorry, who do I go to? Who's the fittest looking person? Anyway, let's bring him on, shall we? He's how can I describe? He's Mr. Lard himself. He really is. He is, of course, our good friend, our freshly battered friend, BrickStagePass. Hello, mate.
Land of Lard.
Yeah, the land of lard. He must have a shop up there with that name, surely.
I mean, he's got a point, to be fair.
Of course I've got a point.
I knew exactly who he meant. I knew you wouldn't know who he meant.
I was like, oh, no, he's throwing me a curveball or something. Give me a colour at least or something. Is the land of lard.
Give me a colour. Well, that's sort of a whitey sort
of
yellow.
White. It's like, I'm still stuck. All right. Anyway, BrickStagePass. You actually you like a new man this week. You are.
I'm revitalized, ready to go. I've been boosted up.
Yeah, you certainly have an avatar. I think has helped with that as well, has it not?
Yes, Avatar has been very good to me this week. I'm not
Wicked,
looking forward to
wicked.
getting up at 6 though tomorrow. I forgot I've got to do this show. I ain't even packed yet.
Dude, we'll
Still there.
we'll be talking about that, and we'll definitely be talking about that. And of course, BrickScene, you've been building them as well. The old Avatar sets. We're doing Lego Proud. I mean, look at that. Look, it's nice, isn't it? Very nice. I don't know. I know nothing about Avatar, folks. I saw it years and years ago, so I know Sigourney Weaver's in it. And it's an interesting
blue
story.
people, tails.
Yeah, blue people, Smurfs. That's it. It's Smurfs and Sigourney Weaver, and they come up
Dancing
with
with wolves in an alien rainforest. That's it.
That's it. That is it in a nutshell, folks. But it's very, very well done. It's beautiful, beautiful film. I know that. So, BrickStagePass, where would you like to go next? We got luscious green land of Ireland. We've got the Southampton. We've got somewhere in America with some dude trying to work from home, or we've got some sweaty bloke in the West Country. Where would you like to go?
I like it when you get a nice vegetable and you chuck it in lard and crisp it all up. A big cabbage. Or something like that.
Dear, yeah, a cabbage.
Go to the sweaty bloke.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the sweaty geezer? Yeah. What happens when you eat too much lard and cabbages, folks? I'll tell you what happens. This is what happens. And here he is now. He's, of course, Aaron, aka CabbageFace. And there he is. Look at him.
Hi. Hello.
He is the human form of mass destruction. He really is.
Human form.
Look how wobbly. Look how wobbly his wrist is because it's just lard. There's not even a bone in there.
What is this intro? I mean,
It's the weirdest intro. It all went wrong when the lard word came up.
yeah.
Anyway,
stuff.
Aaron,
Good
I'd asked
stuff.
you how you're doing, but you sort of you're going through it a little bit at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm generally gutted because I was meant to go to a Lego convention on Sunday, but I got COVID, so I can't go.
Well, you can't go anywhere. Well, I don't suppose you can. Morally, I don't think you can anyway.
Not really, unless I want to spread it around and spread the love,
Exactly, yeah. Well, legally, we can move around, but I think morally, it's like, ooh, no thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, mate. Well, anyway,
I'm a
you're
bit-
doing all right.
Yeah, it's just like having a cold, like a real heavy cold. That's what it feels
Yeah.
like.
You're not
So-
feverish or anything like that, or
A little bit sometimes, but obviously I'm fully jabbed, so it's obviously
Yeah.
working to a certain extent.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, mate. It saves you
how
putting your
exciting.
heating on, doesn't it? If you got fever, so you save some money on heating bills.
Yeah, I'm selling the.
Is your answer to
Maybe a
the
fever.
price hikes?
Well, maybe a fever isn't such a bad thing with the cost of fuel so high.
The answer to the energy crisis.
Yeah.
Get
I'm selling
COVID.
my heat back
Yeah.
to the board,
Exactly, my friend. Anyway, you're looking very well. I tell you, who's looking well out there. We've got Snap to Grid Bricks out there as well, saying, "Yo, Si O'Connor, got him coming on in a second."
You're looking
Ian Brick
amazing,
Bods out
Tommy.
there as well. He's not even down there with Carrie at the moment. What's he doing?
Oh,
Put your kids to sleep, will you, man? For God's sakes. What else is going on out there as well? Loads of you chipper chapper. Bricks with Justin is out there saying, "Minark, howdy." Minark's out there as well. Hey, mate, how you doing? We've got Irish fan of Lego as well. Now, talking of which, where would you like to go then, Aaron? We've got left. We've got somewhere in America, some dude trying to work from home, and we've got somewhere in America. We've got Southampton. Where would you like to go?
I'm gonna have to go to Southampton, and it's my team, unfortunately. So
It's
let's
in
go then.
Southampton. All right,
Southampton.
I wasn't going to say
It's a
anything.
team. Which one is a team? It's a
Southampton.
football team.
Yeah, it's
Southampton.
his football team, isn't it?
Southampton.
You're joking. I've never met a Southampton supporter.
Someone
before.
has got to support them, man.
There's only
Someone's
one.
gotta
and
do it.
He's on the stream.
I was. Do you know what I met? I met someone else the other day. They're a QPR fan. I was like, what? I was like, I thought you guys were extinct. I never heard of them before.
Not all people support teams that win all the time.
Oh, I support West Ham. I don't win nothing.
Oh well,
mate.
sorry, I'll take it back then. Gee,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we-
and I support Newcastle, and we haven't won anything for like 60 years.
Oh, there he is. He's getting his Newcastle top out.
unfortunately,
And,
it's my local team.
it's
it
your
was,
local.
you know.
How's that your local? You're the West Country. You should be
Well-
supporting Exeter St David's or something.
Well, your geography is shocking. Honestly, like
Genuinely is.
All right,
should
Yeovil
support-
at least.
I don't know,
Anyway,
New York.
Yeovil. Surely Yeovil.
Yeovil.
Anyway.
Yeovil.
Yeah, Yeovil.
Oh my word! You know Southampton's 30 minutes from me, don't you?
I don't even believe you. You must drive at about 300 miles an hour. Don't believe him, folks. Anyway, they're talking to Southampton. Then let's bring him in, shall we? How can I describe this woman? Well, if I did, her husband would probably beat me up. So let's get her on, shall we? She's been doing podcasts. She's been doing the displays at brick festivals. We're going to hear a little bit about it tonight. Is of course Carrie, aka half or 0.5, as some people like to call it, or semi, if you're from America, the Brick Bods. Hey, Carrie, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. Good stuff. Oh, I've just spotted as well that you've changed your calendar. Very good.
Yeah, it's October. Oh, this side.
There you go. That's nice. It's nice.
Is it? It's an aerosol can. It's weird.
I can't see it. Yeah, I was just thinking, what is it exactly? But
yeah, all the stuff coming out is Lego, but yeah.
Is it? Oh, that's nice.
You know what I really like? I really like that even when Carrie is there on her own, like she was on a stream the other night building some stuff, you still sit on the right-hand side of the screen.
I know.
Do anything, you just sit on that one side. Make us
I can't reach the camera.
She can't do anything. She can't reach anything. Like, if we ask her to hold anything up tonight, we have to just make it bigger or something.
And if you look at the other side, it's horrendous.
Yeah, but so we will have a table with like a big central thing that you can't put, like you can't get under it. So that's why we stay on either side.
Wow,
it's a good divider.
Very cool. Good explanation.
That's why Ian sits on her side when he can, because it's the clean side. That's what it's all about.
Oh, the clean side. Yeah, because I tell you what, you guys enough make a mess when you want to. You really do. Send me some more. You want to see? Well, all right. Send me some pictures of how. Because honestly, folks, they sent me some pictures last week. Seriously, I thought they'd been burgled.
If
anyway,
I send you the same picture again, I'll be ashamed because it hasn't really changed much.
It hasn't changed much. All right. Honestly, you want to sack your cleaner. Anyway, where would you like to go next? Where we've got somewhere in America where someone's desperately trying to send an email of high importance, and he's pretending to work from home. Or we got Ireland with my beautiful friend. Where would you like to go?
We'll let them spend longer on the email, so we'll go for Ireland.
All right, we're gonna go for Ireland. How can I describe this guy, folks? Well, if you needed to phone the Ghostbusters, he's probably your man because he's kitting up. He really is for Halloween, which of course happens in a few weeks' time, folks. And of course, me and this man will be doing a Halloween stream in and around the end of October. So watch out for that, folks. Let's bring him on, shall we? It is, of course, my wonderful friend from Ireland, Si O'Connor. How you doing, Si?
Hey, everybody. Thank you. Very nice introduction.
Oh, it's finally lovely to get you on, my friend. Loving all the Halloween stuff.
Oh, thanks. I love Halloween, as you know, and it's going to be good that we're going to have another Halloween stream because last year's was brilliant, if you all remember. So I don't know what we're going to dress up as this year, Greg.
I don't know. I've got the same makeup, so I might do the same thing.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Yeah, exactly. And I tell you what, Bricksy, you cannot laugh because I remember last year you were building. I think it was the sand crawler during it, and I went, is this like in and around? Everyone before you and everyone after you had done Halloween streams, and yours was the most un-Halloween stream going. I said you didn't put much effort into this, and it was just put a little wind up on a Sunday.
Halloween had already finished for us. Then it was the next day. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I hadn't thought of that. Good point, actually. But anyway, I'm still not letting you off the hook.
We leave very
Christmas anyway. I think when I said it to him, he was like in the usual brick scene kind of way, which is always pleasant. Anyway, Si, lovely to have you on. So the next guy we're going to go to then is a guy in America, folks. He's pretending to be working from home at the moment. Every now and again, you might see him do this with his mouse. Like that. He hasn't got a Twitch or anything like that, folks. He's just pretending that he's working from home. Let's bring him on, shall we? He's, of course, my friend from a galaxy far, far away, Jesse's Brick Galaxy. Hello, mate.
Hey. Hello. Hi, everyone.
How you doing?
Oh, yeah.
Calling me out, working and multitasking.
You don't have to be quiet. Your boss isn't sitting next door, are they?
No. Okay. And it's Friday, right? So a lot of people take half days and stuff. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Lovely. Except you're not. You're getting paid for doing this stream. So good on you.
Right.
And we won't ask you about who you work for or anything like that. Don't worry. But anyway, lovely to see you, Jesse. You had a nice week.
Yeah. We got some Halloween stuff out at the museum and packages are arriving from October 1st stuff. I just got one today.
Okay.
So lots of things going on.
Very good, very good. I'm liking it. All right, my friend. Say hello to a few peeps that are out there as well. We've got Brickbeat. It says, Greg, have you done a recent tour video of the cabin recently? Be cool to have a tour. Do you know what, Brickbeat? Really good question, my friend. I've actually got to do a tour of the last studio that I got that I do occasionally still use. So I will do that. And then I'll come down here and I can start doing loads of updates for you guys down here as well, which I'm dying to do, which is why I haven't done too much down here, in all honesty, furniture-wise anyway. We got Macro out there. Great to see you, Macro. Love your stuff, mate. I really, really do. Pink Wheels Freeze out there. Pink Wheels, if you got any pictures you want to send us tonight, please feel free to. Stud Sidious, he was technically the first one in today because he got here like last night. It says Dick the Hoodie Jesse, no pun intended. What's it say on it? What's it say on it?
So it's a Brontosaurus, the Science Museum of Minnesota, but it's also a very popular from Stranger Things season 1.
Is it Stranger Things? I don't remember it being a Brontosaurus in Stranger Things.
Yeah, no, one of the kids was wearing this exact shirt.
No, really?
Yeah.
I tell you, you are a proper film buff. You really are. Now, talking of films and
Either
TV,
that or it's really small if one of the kids wore that. Exactly.
I was going to say, I was going to say maybe I don't know, or maybe Jesse's just quite slim, not like unlike us. I don't know. Jesse's a fit-looking man. He really is. He's in good shape. He really is. He's if he was a car, they'd say he was a low miler, and kept in good condition and regularly serviced, I'd say, which is a nice little segue into going into my next guest, actually. Woo! I just made the segue up. Here we go, folks. The terrible segues, but there we go. How can I describe this man? Well, actually, to be honest, tonight, I was chatting with him earlier on. He had a goatee beard. And then I was chatting with him a few minutes ago. He didn't have a goatee beard. He had a little moustache, a bit like a sort of a David Niven sort of moustache. But how can I describe him, folks? He's kind of like Lego's answer to fast cars. He really is. He's basically Mr. Speed Champions. He really is. And a little bit more on top of that. Let's bring him in, shall we, folks? It is, of course, Chris Stamp, a.k.a. Chris Stamp. And here he is. Hello, Chris.
No.
Good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the stream. I'll tell you what I'm going to do because you're our newbie on tonight. Let's pop you in the middle. Sorry, Aaron. I'm going to put the sweaty bloke at the bottom down there. So Chris, I mean, we've put it out on Instagram pretty much every day this week, sort of building it up nice and slowly to say we've got you coming on. I always ask people how their week's been, and I'm not going to do any different to that tonight. And I'm going to start with you. I'm going to say, Chris, as a Lego designer, as a human being, how's your week been this week? Has it been all right, my friend?
I can't complain. It's been great. It's we're in a very exciting time right now in the office, so we're coming up with concepts. So this is our concept phase. So every day you're seeing something new on different designers' tables. So this is probably the most exciting time of the year.
Wicked. Okay, good stuff. I like this as well because you build it up for what's going to be coming out next year as well and stuff like that, and things like that. All right, cool stuff, Chris. I'm liking that. Where should we go next? Let's go to Cabbage. Cabbage, how's your week been this week, my friend? I know you've not been feeling too well, but otherwise, has it been okay?
Yeah, it's been very good, thank you. That's it.
What?
Kobe stream.
I did my Kobe stream on Tuesday, which was fun. But yeah, other than that, it was all right.
All right, well that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. We are allowed to say the C word on here. Yeah. By the way, folks. So, like I think Chris has heard of Kobe, but you know, and there are other toy manufacturers as well, folks. I sound like someone off the BBC now. But anyway, Minark, breaking it up quickly. Minark said, amazing panel of peeps for LC140. And this, folks, as well as kind of getting a shout out on Instagram and stuff like that, this is the sort of thing that happens when you give us a super chat. Detach cable.
Cable detach.
Detach cable. Cable detached.
Sorry, folks. I just got to finish off that biscuit I was just eating. Right, phenomenal. I wanted to put a long bit of video on there, folks, just so I could eat something decent. I spoke to Chris earlier on today. I'm not joking. We did a test run, folks. Believe it or not, I do actually plan these streams. And I thought he's the only one to talk to it 10 minutes, 15 minutes top, just make sure the connection works. Well, bloody hell, I'm not joking. Hour and 10 minutes later, we're still talking about stuff. I said, we should have just recorded this and put this out tonight as a live stream. Monarch, thank you as always, my friend. I really do appreciate it. So, Jesse, how's your week been in the world of Lego? You mentioned something earlier on about museums and stuff like that, which sounded very nerdy. But tell us a little bit about that, and tell us a bit about those Lego sets that you've got on your desk on your left.
Yeah, so I volunteer at a model train museum, and we're lucky enough to display our Lego trains there. So we're making things spooky. I got out my hidden side sets and the fluorescent winged guys. I had a whole bunch of those, and had them like attacking the spider verse village. So that was a lot of fun. Thursday, I've got more Lego behind me that's like, giving me free gift with purchases.
Oh, let's have a look. This is what's his name? Ray or something, isn't it?
Yeah, Ray the Castaway.
Ray the Castaway. Okay.
So if you make your orders with the right thing, you get 2 freebies this week.
Yes,
the Halloween giveaway, and
nice.
Ray. And of course, to obtain that, I ordered Wakanda sets, of course.
Oh yeah, Wakanda Forever. That's the is that the who's the geezer in the jaws there? Is that
just like straight pulling it out of the box for the first time? We got Submariner. And
okay,
the big black boat.
Yeah, no one knows what on earth that is. It's like
we'll see when the movie comes out. But I'm always building something. I hit a milestone earlier this week with 3,000 subs on YouTube. So I made a little video.
3,000 subs. Dude, that's amazing. Well done. Good stuff. 3,000. That's blinding. That is. Cool. That's good stuff. I mean, how many videos have you done to get that? You haven't done that many videos, have you?
A few. Like back in the day, I did some time lapse, and one of them went viral. So I got a whole bunch of subs and a whole bunch of views in like 2014 or 2016. Yeah. And then it's been a slow progression. So over many years, to 7 years or so.
Yeah, 7 years, blimey. That's still good. I mean, 3,000, blimey. That's awesome, mate. That really is. Excuse me.
So yeah, thanks for this platform. It's given little percolating some people to follow Jesse's Brick Galaxy. Appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. And we're always interested to know what you think about movies and films and stuff like that.
I saw Werewolf by Night today.
Oh, dude, I am watching that this weekend. Don't tell me nothing, because I hear there might be a werewolf in it, but I know for a fact it has surprised a lot of people. There's a lot of people.
Spoilers, great. Spoilers.
Yeah, I'm just saying I watched it instead of Rings of Power during my lunch break, and that was great. So,
I did the same.
Yeah,
I didn't watch Rings of Power. I watched Werewolf by Night.
Oh my god. Okay, all right. Well, let's start with that then. Sorry, we're not going to give any spoilers, folks. Don't worry. Don't go or anything like that. I sound like a werewolf then, didn't I? That's like the she-wolf, which was who sang that? Shakira. And I ain't no Shakira, folks, believe me. But anyway, the hips don't.
Well, you will when you get that hip replacement. You'll be all right.
That's actually true. Actually, I tell you, folks, it's a nightmare. So Jesse, what would you give it a thumbs up? Anyone who's out there, give us a thumbs up at the moment, or would you give it a thumbs down? What did you think of Werewolf by Night?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Good stuff. BrickStagePass. Would you give it a thumbs up? Yeah, wicked. Honestly, it's meant to be quite the thing from the NC. In fact, what I'm hearing, folks, is that people wish it was longer than an hour. That's the thing.
That was about right.
Yeah. Well, no. People wish it was longer than an hour. Like, that's a good thing, because I think there's been a few movies out recently that they wish it was a lot shorter than what they were. But it's the way it goes. But
well, maybe we'll get a part 2 next year around Halloween.
Okay, all right. Don't say nothing, because I don't know who's dead or anything like that, or who's there. But it looks like fun, and to me, Well, actually, I described it with Chris earlier on. How did I describe it, Chris? It was something mixed with Hannibal. But it looks quite classic looking.
Very universal monster, classic monster movie.
Chris, have you seen it? Have you seen it yet?
No, I'm gonna watch it straight after this.
After it, all right. So, but Jesse, did you like the fact that it was black and white?
Yes, yeah, that added the feel. They toned things down. So
yeah, some of the bits
almost like
black and white.
Oh, that's good. Good. Si, have you seen it yet?
I forgot about it till Ash said he watched it, so I'll watch it tomorrow. And I'm glad I know it's in black and white now, because I'd have been banging the TV going, "Work, you bastard, work!"
Yeah, smacking it on top. They were the days, aren't they? Smacking it on top.
I mean, the TV is this thin. I probably sliced my hand in half, but like,
oh god,
yeah, no, I forgot about it.
Oh, well, I haven't seen it. Don't worry. I mean, what was I doing lunchtime? Oh, that was it. I was talking to Chris. But it was worth it, though, folks. I was in a meeting. I was in a Teams meeting later on this afternoon, eating a cheese and pickle roll. I really was living it up. I really am. Rock and roll, folks.
Crazy life.
With salt and vinegar crisps, in case anyone's interested.
Did you put them in the sandwich, or did you just?
Did I put them in? No, I didn't. What do you think I am? Some sort of animal?
Did you dip them in lard first?
Oh, honestly, yeah. Did you batter it? Well, it sounded like a Dalek then. So, Si, how's your week been, my friend? Because you wasn't feeling too well last week, but this week.
All better. Week was good. We we spent a bit of time in Smith's nearly, most mornings, because it's the best time to go and look. Had a look at all the new sets that I haven't gotten yet. So those Avatar sets are awesome. They're so cool. I'm still waiting for Black Panther to see what the hell's going on with all those cool sets. And other than that, not an awful lot really. Just getting ready for BrickCon on next week.
Oh, is it next week? I thought it was tomorrow.
No, next week. I hope it's not tomorrow, because no, it's definitely next week.
Honestly, I thought it was tomorrow. I still got my one here. Look, the Dublin BrickCon that the guys gave me outside the Lego store. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Wonderful, guys. Do check it out, folks. So you're going to be signing autographs there or something, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in a VIP area, so photographs, whatever you want, normal things, nothing weird. I'm not signing boobs or anything. So, I'll do anything for a $5, you know me.
Oh, okay.
Right.
That's gone up.
So, honestly, Si's like a budgie. He really is. He's cheap. Can I say?
Oh man!
I wish I was there. I would get you to sign my chest straight away.
You know what? We could...
inner thigh for me. Inner thigh.
Inner thigh.
All of a sudden, it's gone south. It really is. Right. Okay. All right. On that bombshell, BrickScene. Talking to man boobs. BrickScene. How's your week been? Because.
The missus has got COVID as well, and somehow I've managed to avoid it. She tested positive at the beginning of the week, and the rest of us haven't caught it yet. So we've kind of been hanging around in the house in case. But
all right,
I've been building.
Oh, that sounds like
these birds. Are they dinosaurs?
I don't know. It's like one looks like a pigeon, and the other one looks like a phoenix of some sort. They look nice.
Well, they're banshees.
They're banshees, but
banshees.
What are they though? What are they? What's
alien species like pterodactyl?
Tree.
Oh, the tree. Show us the tree, because the tree is actually lovely.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
Tree's cool.
I have to say though, if that was growing in my garden, I'd cut it out because it'd be like a weed. But it's good. It's good. So I know Craig has been raving about these Avatar sets. He really has, which is unlike him. He's kind of helped revitalize his love of Lego, of course, and he's a big mocker. Oh, well, Carrie's up. Carrie, can you hold it up? Hold it up, Carrie.
It looks tiny from there.
Yeah.
That's as far as I can get it.
Harry, can you, when Ian's not around, can you not have the camera like 25 feet away from where you're sitting?
Well, it's attached to the wall, so it's not easy to move.
Hey, whose idea was it to attach it to a wall?
Ian, so she can't move it.
Yeah, Ian.
Ian, what does he do? Swing from it or something? What's all that about?
It's just on like a little Velcro, because we don't have a tripod, because there's literally a wall there. So.
Oh, is there? Okay, all right. I like it. Where is Ian anyway? What's the matter? The kids playing up or something?
Yeah, we only got in at like 6:30, so we're really running behind.
Oh, okay. In from where? You actually went? You went outside tonight?
We went on to a play date with other
what?
children. Play date, straight from school to someone else's house, and then home.
Never heard
Sounds
of it.
hideous.
Didn't have it in my day. Yeah,
it is pretty.
Yeah, we called it larking.
Larking. Larking. Okay. All right. Weird. All right. Good stuff, Carrie. Anyway, so Ian's doing stuff. How are can we have a report on the chickens? Chris, I don't know. This is something. It's a new sensation sweeping Southampton. I don't think it's reached Denmark yet, but people like to keep chickens. So, Carrie, because I'm going to ask Ian this later, but how are the chickens doing?
Chickens are all good, yeah. While we were away last week, they got stuck out of their house. That was fun. So it was dark and they couldn't get into the house. So they just found a really high point to sit, and we had to try and get Ian's parents to get them back into the coop. It was a bit stressful.
Was it? Okay. All right. Good stuff.
Greg,
but they're right.
Greg,
Yeah.
Speaking of birds, sorry, Carrie, this is a bird. So we were out the other evening, right? And I got a phone call, and it was my phone, the phone, the alarm company for the house. And I was like, hello. And they said, what's the password? And I told, and she said, yeah, that's fine. Is everything okay? And I was like, I don't know. I'm not at home. And she was like, oh. And I was like, oh, what's wrong? She said, oh, yeah, I know. I was thinking, oh my God, the Lego's gone. And she said, well, the sensor went off, and we have a picture of something, but it's just a dark shadow. And I was like, oh my God. And so she said, I'll leave the alarm on, but not ringing. So we legged it home, went in, front door was fine, windows. I was like, oh my God. So I was like, what'll I do? So I went in, opened the bloody TV room door, and there's a bird flying around the room. What the hell? I was like, bird. Birds. So he obviously, I don't know, we have those things on the chimney. So somehow he fell down the chimney and was obviously going, where am I? Flying around.
Where am I? Yeah.
It was a boy bird then, was
I had something to tell you. So yeah, it was pretty eventful week. So just the chickens reminded me of the crazy burglar bird.
Dare I ask, Si, but how did you get it out?
I just opened the window and ran around after him going, piss off.
I would have paid good money to see that, man.
Yeah. You should have videoed it. Si, that would have been a good shot, mate. That would have been a fun
It wasn't until
shot.
afterwards. Yeah, I was thinking, oh, I should have videoed that.
Did you say, come back?
It would have been for your vlog, man.
Yeah. Did he leave any deposits for you as well,
Yeah.
Si?
Do you know, there's kind of like soot marks on the ceiling from where he was flying around. Like, but I thought he would have crapped everywhere. It's like these wing marks on the ceiling.
Oh God, I get them on our windows actually. I don't know because I've got a sort of a forest this way. I think everything reflects on the big windows that we've got, and every now and again we'll be sitting there doing whatever, and it's like bang like that. And you mean, what the hell's that? And it'd be like a pigeon outside going, what the hell? Like this.
Yeah, no, we get that all the time. We have to put things on our windows to stop them from doing it here. Yeah.
Oh, dear. So I haven't thought of doing that because it kind of ruins the windows for me. I was just like, I mean, nine times out of 10, they're generally okay, but it's a real proper like this sort of thing, But they do it anyway. All right. So
I have to tell you that. Sorry, Carrie.
That's right. So did you spot what? Did you see what sort of bird it was? Was it like a
It was
robin?
a starling.
Oh, it was a starling. Oh, nice.
And you know what? Months ago, one of them was down one of the, where the drain goes off your shed and goes into the drain, down the drain pipe. I heard this chirping from there one day, and I looked down, and there's one there flapping, going, la, 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 and I had to get him. And they're so light. I didn't know if he was in my hand or anything. And I opened my hand, and he flapped off and got drain water on my face and everything. I was like,
flapped off. That's a phrase I've not heard before. I like
involved in nature side, eh?
Exactly. See, Chris, we're not solely about Lego. We're like people. We are. We know a bit about birds as well.
Bro, I was walking home with Nullik today, and I saw a crow, and he was just on the grass. And for a laugh, I said, "Hi, crow," and he went, "Ah!" And I was like, "Oh my God!" He said hello back.
Side's living in his own Alfred Hitchcock movie. That's what he's doing. Mate.
Yeah.
If they start falling out of the sky, mate, then start getting worried. All right.
Side's middle name's Doolittle.
Maybe it's just lay off the codeine. I don't know. well. But anyway,
gotta get the bird somehow.
So anyway, all that 10-minute story all came about Carrie trying to open up or hold up her tree. We've got about 3 people on this panel that have got this tree, which is really cool. Did you enjoy the build, Carrie, for a start?
So Ian did this one. I did the funny bird-looking thing. This thing.
Yeah, cool. Oh, here we go.
What's he called?
So ours wouldn't say like we built it wrong and it kept falling over.
Oh, has he got a broken wing?
No, it's fine. That's how it's meant to look. Apparently,
you clicked the hinges in properly.
Yeah, we didn't. So it just kept falling over. So we've named it the Floppy Dragon.
The Floppy Dragon.
That's not Ian's name, is it? That's not Ian's name, the Floppy Dragon, is it?
No,
no, absolutely not.
Sorry, a bit early for
that. He's half dead and he's still got a sense of humour. All right, nice one, Carrie. Nice one. Good work on there. So we've spoken to Chris. We were seeing he's obviously good at grooming as well because I thought I like the look. I thought he's going for the Eddie Jordan look. That's what he's doing. Anyway, we're moving on swiftly. We've spoken to.
Can you not insult the Lego designer, please?
I'm not insulting the Lego designer.
Eddie Jordan. He's like 97.
Who's not? Actually, I've got a story about Eddie Jordan, but that would come across so wrong. It really would. And
I believe we've heard this story before, Greg.
Yeah. All I say is, I think it was at a Shakira concert. But anyway, we won't go there.
So many questions there.
Nicole, come on, you guys, come on. Let Nicole speak. Nicole, you've just moved into a new place. I don't know what German is for new house or anything like that. But it looks lovely. It looks nice. You got yourself some nice Lego sets behind you. Great big Palpatine-looking seat that you're in there as well, by the way, and a lovely looking, double radiator. So tell us a little bit about you and how your week's been this week.
It was busy unpacking boxes, but I'm very happy to report that I finally narrowed it down so that I can start unboxing Lego again.
Oh, good stuff. All right, cool.
I'm waiting for the cheering and clapping.
Oh, okay, all right, sorry. Here we go. Right.
Thank you.
Sorry, we should have rehearsed this.
Standing ovation. I love it.
What? So, are you happier now? You kind of a bit more peace in mind that you got back at your place and it's your own place, and you got the familiar Lego sets out and things like that.
The Lego sets are not out yet, but I will start soon. I made good progress, but it's really it feels great to have the major other stuff out and about again, and that I'm finally making progress. Yeah, it's incredible, the stuff that one owns and needs to carry around. I can't recommend moving. Don't.
Well, it's an interesting thing. Like I said, I've never moved with loads of Lego. Has anyone else on the panel moved before with like loads of Lego? Oh, so BrickStagePass says. Oh, and Chris has as well. All right. Well, Chris, did you move from the UK to Denmark with loads of Lego, or did you just move around Denmark?
Just around Denmark.
Oh, just around Denmark.
Yeah. When I came here, I didn't have Lego. I hadn't had Lego since I was like 13. Something like that.
Okay. But I mean, you're quite young. You're quite young, and you've been at Lego. I mean, I kind of calculated it was around 10 years, but it's actually longer than that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost 11. It'll be 11 on the 1st of November.
Wow. Okay. Not bad. Oh, that's really good. That is a long career to have at one place. It really is. And you're kind of there now. I mean, you're head of the division and sort of thing, and the speed champion stuff, and. It's kind of like, where else is there to go? I mean, it's like chairman next, isn't it? After that,
no.
Oh, is it not?
There's so many projects at Lego that Speed Champion's a small one. I would love to work on like a bigger project, like Star Wars or something like that. That's really? one of the movie IPs. Like I'm kind of like Jesse. I'm mad about TV shows and movies and stuff. So working on one of those would be fantastic. because there's just like if you look at Harry Potter right now, they do everything from D2Cs to books that can open to figures that's like this tall, brick built, and they do a bit of everything. So that's
do Lord of the Rings. Do Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
do Lord of the Rings. We already did Lord of the Rings.
Do it again.
Rings of power. Rings of power.
Yeah. That's neither confirmed nor denied, folks. That's neither confirmed nor denied. Okay, cool. Well, Nicole, look, lovely to know that you've actually made it and got over the line. And obviously, it's something that neither Chris nor you would recommend. Good to see you out there as well, Clicking Cliff, Zabadak as well. Lovely to see you, my friend. So BrickStagePass, aka Craig. How the devil has your week been?
Yeah, good week. I've built lots of avatar sets. I've only got one left to build, and really surprised me. I wasn't expecting them to be that good builds, and I was going to be a little bit disappointed because obviously I'm planning on mocking the whole lot anyway. And then I had a cool stream with my little bro on Twitch that I am programmed to remind people that he just needs some followers on there to get to 50. So if you've got a Twitch account, please follow Hans Scotty. Link will be provided later.
Yeah, definitely, folks. Do check him out. He's a good lad. He really is, and a good supporter of the channel too.
And yes, when I moved the Lego, even though there was loads of Lego, that was the least of my worries. And I think some of it in the tubs under these tables is still packed from when we moved nearly 7 years ago.
Wow.
I think moving with little ones is a lot harder than moving Lego.
Yeah.
That was the most testing of moving. Having them entertained while we had to go back and forth and move boxes and stuff is very difficult. They were really young when we moved, so
wow,
definitely the worst thing.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, really. And you got to make sure, firstly, you don't leave the kids behind, and secondly, you don't leave any Lego behind as well. So it's a tough thing. What have you been most delighted about, shall we say, with the builds this week for the Avatar sets? Because you're a big Avatar fan. So
so originally when I viewed the images, I did criticize them a little bit about I would change this, I would change that. Actually, when I've actually got them in hand, they're way better than the pictures, which you don't often say about Lego sets. They usually look better in the renders.
Yeah. Oh, let's make him a little bit bigger.
So I would have changed some of the underside and some of the way that the back things, but actually when you build them and you've got them in hand, I couldn't really do it any better. It's very, very difficult to do what they've done. In fact, I discussed this with you, didn't I, Greg? There's very sort of techniques in here that remind me of Speed Champions. Like somebody has been paying attention to what other people are doing in other departments and using those concepts, the way that they've got the detail in so small. But yeah, they just look a lot better in person than they do on the pictures. And then the scenery is great. All the glow in the dark pieces are fantastic, so you'll love them.
Yeah, glow in the dark pieces. Sorry, Chris, it's the best answer I've ever heard. When I asked Cy O'Connor, or anyone, what their favorite color is, like one of my favorite Lego favorite colors is sand green, or as I like to affectionately call it, sandy green. Cy's favorite color is what, Cy?
Glow in the dark.
Glow in the dark. Is that not the best answer to a what's your favorite color question? Honestly, it's brilliant. And just
full glow in the dark carrots, not just.
Well, yeah, it's not
carrot
just the
part. They do the stem as well, Si.
Oh, that is sweet.
Ooh, yeah.
And I think the crowns are nice. Don't get me wrong, but I think they're probably the most useful part in glow in the dark. Those little 2x2 dishes.
We got an extra one in ours.
Yeah, these are all extras. You get loads of extras. You get loads of tails, don't you? I think they think they might snap, so they've put a lot of extras in.
Oh, there we go. Blimey, look at this. Look, old Jesse, whilst he was
there's your sand green.
Things people do when they're working from home.
Yeah, again, that mech has got like essence of speed. I don't know if you agree, Jesse. It's got like Speed Champion techniques that I've seen on to get it all tight and detailed.
It's pretty clever. Well, and then sand green, yeah.
That's definitely the set I'm going to get.
That mech.
Yeah, that mech. I love a mech. And the last sand green one I built, I think, was Kai's Titan mech or something like that. That was quite that had a bit of sand green in it.
Was that a lollipop stick he's holding?
For a six leg creature, it's got great movement like angles. I don't know. It's good.
Yeah, the Thanator. The only thing I don't like on that is the claws. I might change the claws.
Yeah, they don't sort of sit, but they
yeah.
But in answer to your question, Cabbage, about that being a lollipop, if it is a lollipop, it'd be quite sharp in taste, I would have thought. Terrible joke, but there we go. I didn't even get a groan. Everyone's just like,
I'm so glad you come back to that.
Did you not have the Lloyd's Mech Dragon? That was sand green from the...
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, you're not talking about the dragon.
Well, maybe I am. I can't remember. I know I've built something Ninjago, and oh no, I'll tell you what it was. Sorry, the other mech. That was it. It wasn't Ninjago at all. It was Overwatch. It was the ball one. There was a little rat in it called
the hamster ball.
The hamster ball. Yeah, Hammond. Oh man, that was good. I missed the Overwatch sets. They were good. They were good fun. Ian's here. Ian's turned up. Ian, how you doing? Great to see you.
Yeah, not too bad.
He was just asking me what I'd missed, and I said we're still on the intros.
Yeah.
No, we're trying to string him out because we're waiting. We're waiting for him. How's he doing? Anyway, you all right?
I'm just trying to sort my phone out. Sorry.
He's got his phone out. All right. Well, he's liking the stream, folks, at the moment. That's what he's busy doing.
Exactly what I'm trying to
do. What was that?
Oh, girls allowed, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's like, I can't believe that. He listens to girls. Maybe it's because he puts chickens to sleep. I don't know.
I did have to go and check on the chickens. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Are they chickens all right?
Yeah, they seem okay. They're a bit tired now, so they're not moving much.
Oh, okay. They had a hard day or something, I think.
Well, it's quite late, isn't it?
Yeah, as soon as it gets dark, they get scared. That's why last week it was so hard, because they were stuck out in the dark and we couldn't get them to move. So, because they're like, I can't see.
They probably forgot what to do. Yeah, probably forgot what to do. Have you got like a little night light for them or anything like that?
They're really scared of the dark. So.
Yeah. You should get little torch headbands for them.
Yeah. Why not? I'll tell you what, right? That'd get some views on a video. That would. It's sort of like use like a little Lego rubber band or something like that. And then they just stick something. I don't know. You could do something.
Chicken abuse.
Chicken abuse. That sounds wrong.
You didn't ever put anything on a chicken's head.
Well,
maybe we can have something around their neck with a light on.
Not unless you're cooking it. I suppose so.
What do you cook with its head on?
What do you put on the head when you're cooking it?
Yeah. Why would you leave it on?
Little chef's hat.
A little chef's hat. Yeah, they do them chef's hat, don't they? They might put them on their feet, and if they've got a spare one, they'll just go, oh, here we go, on there. Just saying. It's delicacies, side delicacies. I've never eaten a chicken head before. I wouldn't want to be honest. And I love chicken. Ian loves chicken as well. To be fair, this is the irony here, Chris, is that Ian, he basically keeps Kentucky Fried Chicken in business in Southampton. He does, and he keeps chickens as well. So there we go. Chris, have you got any pets?
No.
No pets at all.
No. Used to have a cat, but we lost him last year, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a shame. We love cats on here. We do. So okay then. All right. So we've been around. We know Ian's okay. The chickens are okay. Craig's happy. BrickScene's here. We're still awake, which is amazing. How many coffees you had this morning so far, BrickScene?
Just the one. I'm about to go and get another. So
just the one. All right. Well, on that note, then I think this is a nice moment for everyone to sort of give the stream a thumbs up if they haven't done already. And Chris, tell us a little bit about you and Lego and where it all began. How did Chris Stamp wake up one day and go, I'm going to go get a job with Lego? And where did you kind of start off with it all? And how did you get to where you are now? Tell us a little bit about you, mate.
No worries. But one thing, just to answer what you guys were talking about there, I didn't want to jump in.
Yeah.
A designer who was on Speed Champions last year moved to the Avatar team.
So, there we go.
Probably is why you see a few similarities. He's a guy called Windsor, fantastic builder, and he does a lot of that IP stuff. And and it's weird you say it because normally people don't comment on those things. But if I was to look, because I see models every single day, if I was to look at like just a model, normally you can kind of tell who designed it because of the techniques and the way they use it. So there's a little bit of insight for you.
Nice.
Not just a pretty face, my friend.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. No.
He's got skills. Oh, that's really cool. Nice one, Craig. So look at him. He's well happy with himself. He's going to be proper made up. He's going to go to bed tonight. He's going to wake his missus up and say, here, I told you, didn't I? I told you.
No, I've got my picture of Chris stamped by me, so I was like, oh, thanks.
All right, don't creep him out.
Guys, look at the time. I just
but yeah, so okay, so where did it all begin? And have it, I'm also curious as to know what sort of designers you like as well. But anyway, tell us where it all began, Chris. How did it all start?
Sure. So same thing as I tell every kid or anybody who asks, how do you get to be a Lego designer? Education, like train as a designer, and that's what I did anyway. So that's what worked for me. So that's probably what'll work for other people. So I'm actually educated as an industrial designer. So I went to Northumbria University in Newcastle. Some people who can tell my weird accent, I'm from the northeast of England. After doing a university course, all the designers in the UK, there's a thing in London called New Designers. It's like a big design event where you can go and you can show off whatever you've designed. Fashion designers, automotive designers, product designers, every type you can think of. And it's pretty much a supermarket for companies. So you go there and you stand on your shopping aisle and you present your work, and Lego will come along as well as other big companies with their shopping trolley, and they just pick you up, put you in the trolley and take you to the till. And that's pretty much what happened to me. I got approached by two guys who I'm now actually really good friends with after all these years. They just look like casual guys like us, just dressed like, they're not in suits, they're not dressed overly professional, they're just dressed like normal guys. And they start asking you, what about your project? What made you design this? Why did you do it? Why did you do it that way? And then at the end of all that, they pull out a little yellow business card and they say, oh, by the way, we work at Lego. And for me, I didn't know what that meant, because I did a design degree, but I never ever thought, well, people actually design Lego. I never contemplated that before. So then you go to, they offer you to come over. There was about 30 plus people on this interview. And they pretty much give you a big bag of Legos. This is where you guys will be familiar with this. And you just got to build something. Just come out, build something, and then have fun with it, basically. And then they'll see if you fit what they're looking for, basically. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. I've been there for 11 years, like you mentioned. Worked on all kinds of things. So obviously Speed Champions, you guys are familiar with. But I started out in what we called in and out play themes. So I worked on the last space theme we ever did, or Lego space theme we ever did, which was Galaxy Squad.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's the only one I have all the sets for. That and Ultra Agents.
I also worked on Ultra Agents. So yeah. So if you guys know in City, they always have like initials and date of birth and stuff on their registration number plates. If you go through Ultra Agents, you'll see that there's a mech I did that transforms from like one mech into two mechs and all this kind of stuff. That's got my initials and date of birth on the arm, and the actual name of the product is CLS Eradicator Mech. CLS is my initials. Didn't ask for it to be in the name, but that's an Easter egg we put in. We went straight into Ultra Agents.
I have that set.
Yeah,
I just looked it up. Yeah, I have that.
Oh, wicked.
It was the orange team, wasn't it?
Hopefully it didn't put you off Lego.
It's still sealed. I haven't opened it. No, it's amazing. I've about 6 of those sets, and yeah, like Craig, I love them.
Yeah, it was a great little team. It was a 3-man team, and it was fantastic for me to get my feet wet. Worked on Ultra Agents for a bit, which is one of the best projects I ever worked on, because we designed everything from the ground up with the characters, the models, the story, everything. So I love that. Cool. I worked on a little thing you might have heard of called the Lego Movie.
Never.
Yeah, so there was a lot of 2-in-1 products. So there was like a plumber's van that turned into flying plumber's van, and castles that turned into flying castles. I did all those, the 2-in-1 SKUs.
Fire engine.
I didn't do the fire engine. but I know I worked on the micromanagers that came in it because I did all the micromanagers for the movie. Then I went to Ultra Agents. Then I went to Speed Champions. Yeah, that one. So that one there, the registration plate.
He's so happy. Look at him.
The registration plate should start with LS.
LS, yeah. LS 112.
My dad's initials.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
And if you've got the ice cream van, probably not. That's my mom's initials and date of birth as well. So yeah, that's ways that even though it's not Lego City, we can still get our own Easter eggs in there that nobody will ever know.
Everyone's clamoring for Chris Stab merchandise now.
Yeah.
So while you're talking about that, is that why Solomon Blaze was carried across then from to Ultra Agents?
Yeah, guys, I bought that set actually. I bought that set about 5 weeks ago because we built the one this year, the 2022 Lego City ice cream van, and I'm collecting the ice cream vans, and that one I saw. That's cool. Sorry, Chris, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just like, cool. There's a really good set.
We get excited.
We do.
No, but don't worry, guys. Like I want it to be a two-way conversation because I want you guys to tell me if you hate it or not, because that's how I can get better.
No, we're too polite. We tell you we'll tell you when the stream's finished if we don't like it.
You'll just quietly mute my mic, and I'll just.
Because when Galaxy Squad came out, my son who's 14 now was only little, and on a night we used to, as he went to bed, we had a routine where we would play with the Galaxy Squad on his bed and make up adventures about Solomon Blaze and all the characters. So then when he came back in Ultra Agents, we were like, woohoo! So that must have been what you were involved in.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. And that was, we also developed another theme that was going to continue, but then we never launched that. We developed that was all continuing his story and things as well, but then we just didn't launch it. So there's also like a lot of product lines that we do develop internally that never actually see the end of day because we do so much testing with kids and things. So, but then I went on to the Speed Champions. And that was, I'd never worked with IPs before, but that was when we were doing the 6-wide. So I worked on the first launch, helped work on those products. I did the first ever Speed Champions car we did, the LaFerrari. It was that was only a 2-man design team. So everyone thinks Lego is huge and massive. We do have a large design team, but when you split it up over every project, they're not like a 15-man team. So that was pretty cool. And then after doing that for like the second launch of Speed Champions, I was the only designer. So if you hate those products, I'm to blame. And then I went.
I think they only
I
got
left
better.
Speed Champions, and I went on to a little project called Ninjago, and we did a few of the TV show launches. I started with the Sky Pirates. I did a ship with a balloon and stuff.
Yeah, loved it.
Yeah, that's a good set.
And then with that set, that's one of those sets where it's easy to say it was my set, but that's not true because every Lego product we do there's multiple designers. So I started it, but another guy finished it. So when we say like also we designed that, it's never just one guy. You've got multiple model builders. You've got a graphics designer doing all the stickers, all the decorations. You've got element guys coming up with new pieces. You've got external guys like with the Lego Movie. That was Warner Brothers telling us how this is going to fit into the story. So it's really a group project, each product. Then I was on the Ninjago movie, and I had I was one of the what we call product drivers. So I was also leading a lot of the product development. I did a little model that's behind you there, Destiny's Bounty. I did the first Ninjago City.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did the second Ninjago City as well. I did Cole's mech, if anyone remembers that big black mech with the unicycle wheel.
The ghetto blasters on it.
All the speakers, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I did all of the Shark Army except for the giant shark, which is probably the best Shark Army one because it could like eat everything.
Did you do the fire one, the fire mech? Because that was one. As I was getting into Lego, and I discovered Ninjago, and the Ninjago movie had come out. but there was the sets were out there still, and funny enough, I always remember this because it's the only one I've ever bought. I got from Boots, the chemist, the fire mech, the most random thing, but they were selling it for some strange reason. I got it from there. And it's brilliant. I love it.
It's because Lego's great health-wise. It helps you with your dexterity and your fingers.
Yeah,
that's true. It is.
Right, next to your skin creams, you've got your dexterity quest.
You've got the thing that gives you the calluses in the first place.
Yeah.
No, that's Technic.
No, actually the designer who did the fire mech, which I studied dramatically when I was designing Cole's mech. So you'll see there's a lot of similar building techniques that I really studied his work for that. Is the same guy who designed the giant shark mech, Garmadon's shark mech. And that's a guy, Luis Castaneda. He also worked on Ultra Agents with us back in the day. So he's a good friend of mine. He's wow. He comes up with stuff that we can't dream of. He's so talented. I had my 5 minutes of fame there because I actually got to meet, being a movie buff like Jesse, I got to meet Jackie Chan in
way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we had to do, everything was cut from the final movie, but I had to go down to Australia and do live action shoot with Jackie Chan, where we were putting like real Lego props in his shop for the beginning and the end of the movie.
Oh yeah.
None of that ended up in the final movie, but I got to spend a week with Jackie Chan, so nobody can complain.
Crazy.
Oh, that is cool. What was he like? What was he like?
He was very. He's really hilarious, and I can guarantee he does all these stunts himself.
Wow.
So one thing we did is we forgot the cameras were rolling, and there's a scene in the movie where he's got to like catch like 6 cups in midair and stuff, and he tried like take after take, and he would catch like 5 and then just missed the last one, and I would struggle like catching 1, and then finally he caught all 6. And then me and the other designers who were with us, we all just started like cheering and shouting, go woohoo! And then the director came around and he was like, "We can hear you."
It's ruined it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was pretty memorable. Definitely.
So is that? Could you hear you in the outtakes at the end of the film then? Because at the end of the film they show the outtakes of him catching it, and then there is some
missing a few times.
background.
Yeah, that might be us.
Yeah.
I didn't get paid for it, but that might be us.
Laughing.
I'm not
Laughing
in
a lot.
the credits at the end, like, silly guy laughing. That's not me. So, I wish it was. Yeah, so I did all that, and then I came back to Speed Champions end of 2017. So we'd already finished the 2018 product line, and that was where I just said, okay, how can we rethink the brand? Now I'm not just designing the products, now I'm in the driving seat, so to say. How can we do this properly? So we quickly got the 2019 stuff round the way, out the way, around the corner kind of thing. And then for 2020, I really sat down with my right-hand man, CERN, and we just said, okay, how can we blow the doors off Speed Champions and kind of give you guys what everyone had apparently been asking for, at least when we talked to everybody. So that's how we came up with the moving and evolving to 8 wide. So I won't talk for the rest of the podcast. I'll give you like just a blabbermouth right now.
Take over. Can I ask you a question, Chris? Okay, so I noticed this with the Speed Champions lately. I'm a minifigure collector, and I've noticed that you don't promote the minifigures in the boxes anymore. Why?
Good, very good question. Very good eye for detail. So that is a conscious choice. That is something I wanted. We did do it in 2019 for the last 6 wide, because the 6 wide was more of a toy. Let's put it that way. So it was more for the Lego City scale. Let's put it that way. So like the base plates and all that kind of sizes. But it was also, if you look at the packaging, there was little stories about the guy pushing his wheel to the car or changing his wheel with the spanner, or we included a wind turbine with the center, or we included little story starters is what we call them. It was a toy. There was ways that you could actually have the car but play out a scenario. To do that, you need the character. So the character is a really big, important deal. When we went to 8 wide, if you'll notice in the first launch, I killed all that. Except for in the double packs where I kept in start lines just to see. That was a gray area, because I was very much like, some people like them, some people wish they weren't there. I'll play it safe with both. minifigures were not the priority. The car was the priority. And what I really wanted to do was follow in the footsteps a little bit of Technic and Creator Expert. And if you look at all their products, they always had the wheel as the one-to-one.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do the same. I want to really downplay the minifigure and say, yes, you're still going to get a completely unique minifigure in every product. So if you collect minifigures, like you just said, great. I can give you, if you just collect Ferraris, every Ferrari minifigure is different. If you collect all Speed Champions, you're going to get completely different IP characters every single time. But they weren't the priority. So the focus was purely the car. And also by getting rid of story starters, start lines, garages, pit stops, you can put 100% focus on the vehicle.
Yeah.
You can also put 100% of your bricks into the vehicle. So that was kind of where the focus was. It was get rid of the stuff that's just going to end up in the parts drawer, and keep the stuff that's actually going to be on display or that you can pick up and you can drive around your bedroom or living room. So,
and did you sorry, just one more, did you guys find that it was more adult collectors collecting Speed Champions or kids, or how did you come to a conclusion where it was kind of seen more as a collector's model?
I think it's not really, I wouldn't say it's an adult. I would say that we went from being a toy that maybe you could display, like the Porsche 911, the white one that I've seen you guys have. You can display that if you want, but primarily it was a toy. I wanted to switch that up. I wanted it to be a display model that you can play with because it's got wheels. And that was kind of it, really. We'll still see that when we went up in scale, because you'd see a lot of adults saying, "Oh, I love what you're doing, but it's far too narrow." I said, "Okay, well, we'll correct that." Because what I really don't want us to do, and this was like my kind of rule one, is I don't want us to, we're very fortunate that we get to work with Porsche or Audi or Ferrari or Lamborghini or whoever. I don't want us to do a red block with 4 wheels and then just stick on some Ferrari stickers and say, well, that's clearly a Ferrari when it looks nothing like a Ferrari. Because that wouldn't, in my mind, be doing justice to the partner Ferrari or doing justice to the guys out there who's really passionate about cars. So that's why it was more like, if we're doing these, let's just do them as good as we can. If that attracts more adults, great. If that makes more kids happy, great. But it was more just about strip away the age marks. Like, forget ages. I don't care what the age is on the box. How do we make this the best representation at minifigure scale or close to that we possibly can? So
see, that was the game changer for me. Is like I'm a big car fan, but I avoided all Lego cars for a long time. I don't know why. I don't know if it was just I didn't want to be disappointed. I didn't want to sort of pick it apart and sort of go, "Oh, this is not right." Or I don't want to be an idiot about it, you know. But when you move to the 8 wide, I couldn't hold off any longer, you know. And I think when I was building the first of them, I was comparing them to the experience that I got building the helmets. You know, like the intricacies and some of the details that you're getting and making something that size look like the actual model. I think that's
I agree.
Well, it blew me away
because I couldn't believe it. Richard, he talks about cars all the time. He loves, creative expert stuff, all the stuff, proper piston head. But I was shocked.
I like rotaries more. No pistons and rotaries. No
that's true, actually. Yeah. What is it? Mazda? It's Mazda, isn't it? That makes the
rotary wankle.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's a nice name for an engine, isn't it? But yeah, but these ones, I always liked them. I always liked them because I just thought they were still a little bit more. How can I put it? Just more detailed than something like what you'd get from City. And that's cool. And I thought you guys did a great job of what you had, because it's a constraint. Whichever way you look at it, that is a constraint. And it's going to look a bit more caricature. And this is always, in my opinion, going to be more aimed at kids. Whether or not you're trying to make this the best looking car you possibly can. And I will say this, what you did with the Minis and what you did with the Porsches was awesome, because they really do look like the real deal. But when you change the scale to this, to 8 studs wide, I just thought that was awesome. And I know there's pros and cons to it all. But what I'm interested to know, Chris, is was there actually any thought? You went up 2 studs. did you ever think about going up or even going down, maybe even trying 7 studs? Was there any thoughts sort of kind of behind that and trying a different scale altogether? How, in a nutshell, how did you get to saying, yes, 8 studs is the way we're going to go? How did you get there?
I think that's a really good question. It's not something that people tend to ask. I don't even think I've ever been asked that before. But if anybody who has followed Speed Champions, especially since we went to 8 wide, hopefully you'll see that every year. So if you take a 2020, so the Ferrari you had, if you compare that to the 2022 products, hopefully you'll see that the 2021 is nowhere near as good as the new one. Like every year we're trying to be visually improving as well. That's why we're really open to feedback. It's nice when people say, oh, this was nice and this was nice. I want to know what guys didn't like, because if you tell me what you didn't like, then I can say, great, that's exactly what we need to focus on next launch. But
I know
do it in a nice way.
I know one thing that a lot of people will say they don't like is the stickers, the mountains of stickers.
Absolutely, yeah. And of course, and actually, stickers is the second biggest complaint we get after the proportions of 6 wide. So that was my focus, was to go to the 8 wide to fix, or to go to a different scale. Let's put it that way, to reduce and get the proportions right. So anybody will know, the Speed Champions team knows, like, I'm probably a bad lead because I'm such a drill sergeant in terms of like challenging the team, making the team achieve more than they even think themselves we can achieve. But also, because I designed the products myself, I wouldn't ask anybody to do something I'm willing not to do myself, or I don't think I can help the guys achieve. So we're really anal and OCD about every detail. Changing the scale, we didn't just say, all right, want to change scale, we'll go to 8, boom. It's 25% bigger. We'll up the price from 15 to 20. Easy. We spent, me and CERN did this together, so you could kind of say we're like, it's our baby. We're the two parents of it. We spent a year exploring different alternatives. We tried 7 wide, because 7 wide is actually probably is the most accurate proportions to minifigure scale, or minifigure's not human scale, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We tried 8 wide, 10 wide. Does it work if you go to 14 or 12? Like we tried a lot of things. What we also wanted to do, though, is differentiate from anybody else. So if City now owns, say, 6 wide and 4 wide, if Creator 3-in-1 owns maybe 10, 12 wide, if the Creator Expert owns 14, 16 wide, and then Technic owns about 5, 6 different scales themselves, by going to 8 wide, differentiated us from getting a Creator 3-in-1 car or a City car. But also, it was the best way that we could keep it close as possible to minifigure scale without being 7 wide, because 7 wide was ideal. And we looked into that, where what if we made 5 wide cockpits, and what if we made 3 wide bows and things like this to actually allow it. But Lego's an even numbers system. So as soon as you start introducing a lot of like 5 wide plates and 5 wide elements and 3 wide elements, it doesn't feel Lego. So for us, 8 wide made sense. Plus, I was a big believer, and this is something that me and CERN went back on a lot in our discussions, was I find it weird that you buy a Ferrari and the driver's in the middle. And that's not based on any data or facts or tests or anything. It's just a personal feeling. So for me, I really wanted 2 characters. CERN had a great opposing argument, because he said, well, if you just put one in the middle still, that's what City and Cars minifigure scale have always done. And that gives you extra space on the sides to build more details and all that kind of stuff. I think it's cooler with 2 figures. And we said, can we do it? The most limiting part of any car actually is building around the minifigure. Building around 2, you're just complicating it even more. But that was a challenge. That was something I just set in the brief from the day one. I was like, I need to do this. Like, if we do this, people's not going to think you're just going from 6 to 8, because that's doable. People think it's a game changer if now every car can fit 2 minifigures. So if in Rally, for example, with the Audi, do you get the driver and then the navigator? Because that's really authentic to the real thing. So it's those kind of discussions that we had. But we also, again, looked into all the types of elements. Do we need new chassis? Do we need new wheelbases? Do we need new windshields? How do we do headlights? How do we get the wheels correct? Now we know that we can't ask for all of that in one go. So we also had strategies behind our elements. So first year was getting the scale correct. Second year was how do you fix the wheel proportions without having to make all these new wheel arches and things. Third year, how do you fix the headlights? How do you make it so that we no longer, going back to what you said, Sai, was we no longer have to sticker headlights. Like we knew when we did 3 stickers on a Toyota headlight, I'd personally designed that car. I knew it wasn't the best solution in the world, but it was the best solution we could come up with. We looked into brick building it with Nexonites, axes and all that stuff because, you know, Speed Champions, we do wacky stuff.
Yeah.
That was the best way we could do it that we were satisfied with. And we knew before we launched the product that next year we were going to fix that problem straight away. So we're already our own biggest critic, but we like to check in with you guys to kind of do a temperature gauge check as well, just to make sure that are we doing the same thing? All right.
Can I ask you 2 questions? Another 2 questions. I haven't heard. I don't think any of us have spoken about this, but I love this. This is like an amazing car. First question is: did you try to put in an ejector seat? And second question: is this a little Easter egg, the gun? Because you're not allowed to have a gun on the box.
No, there is a story behind that, Sai. There is basically there is a thing, Chris, and even Blocks magazine put it on the front of their magazine this month, whereby they've got the James Bond, the Daniel Craig figure, and they've put in what is a spare part. And the biggest question that's going around when this came out, right, was this made a spare part on purpose? Over to you,
okay.
Chris.
Yeah. So we do think about a lot of stuff. If you build a Kunensegg, you might see there's a Swedish flag halfway through the build.
Yeah, there is.
If you're building a DB5, you might see that it actually has the shifter or the handbrake in between the driver and the door. Like we do pay attention to a lot of details. We also do think like, oh, wouldn't it be great if you put this element in because then you get a spare element? Or if it's a color change, why would you do a Chevy in dark red? Well, because we've never done a dark red car before. And even if you're not a cars guy, I know a lot of guys out there see Speed Champions as parts packs. So we'll do or a purple Charger, because how else do you get a purple Speed Champions car? So there is a lot of things we think about. However, exactly. Yeah, right. When I included the 1x3 tiles, I didn't do that thinking you wouldn't actually apply the stickers. I thought, oh, it's cool because people then can just put on the sticker for whichever DB5, like from whichever James Bond they prefer. The gun element, I don't see as a gun element. I see as a fire hose element.
Nozzle, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a nozzle. That's how I see it. And the true story is, I've seen people online say, "Oh, I build it differently." That completely okay. That's okay. I also challenge people out there to build it better because I believe there's people out there who can just do it better. Like this is my best attempt. That's not to say this is perfect. That's not to say if I had another 2 years working on it, I could have maybe improved it.
Not and have it stable. I don't think they could.
Can I say what my biggest disappointment is on that set? Is the different color of the stickers. Yeah, the different color of the stickers. They really stand out a different grey, and it's my only criticism probably of that set, which is probably what everyone would say. But
that is a fair comment. That is what everybody is saying, and it's not just on that car as well. It's when we've done.
How much would printing increase the cost of the Speed Champions? You probably can't answer that question, but would it exponentially increase the cost of a Speed Champions to print the whole set, to pad print it or whatever printer they use?
It's hard to say. It depends on each car because some cars are race cars, so they need a lot of stickers. Other cars aren't race cars, so you really need to. If you look at what we are stickering, we're trying to only sticker things that you can't they're so small you can't really brick build them. Or if you were to brick build them, there'd be a huge stability issue created.
I was gonna say that about the stickers. I like the fact that with a race car you have all the livery as stickers, because then you get the guys like for the GTR, for example. I know a few guys that, because down here Japanese cars are really popular in New Zealand, you know. So a lot of guys who bought that car and showed it on their Facebook pages, no one put the stickers on because they like GTRs. So it never ended up, you know, there was everyone sort of posted pictures of them with no stickers on them. So this is my GTR, you know. So I don't know. I kind of like the idea that you have stickers on the race cars rather than, you know, as details on the road cars.
So just to finish Si's question, we didn't think of it as a gun. And also, when there is spare pieces left at the end, sometimes we know about it. Other times we're not always certain because it might be an element we don't use so often. With that piece, I didn't actually know they would overdose that piece. Overdose is what we internally call it.
That's a good term. I never knew that.
Yeah. I apologize if I use internal lingo and I say words and everyone's like, what is this guy talking about?
All the little bits that are extra.
Yeah, but we like that though. That's the thing. We geek out on stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll be at the shirt tomorrow going, well, they overdosed on that part, you know.
Overdosed on Lego this weekend. I feel overdosed on hat jugs. I love it.
So no, we actually, we didn't include that as intentionally. But we did talk a lot about including the wrench or not, because we include that with all Speed Champions cars. So I know in Fast and Furious, a few people's been saying, oh, that's because he uses a wrench in a movie and stuff. That wasn't the reason. It was because every Speed Champions car has a wrench, and that's to remove the wheel inserts easily if you want to take them off. So I know everyone's like, oh, is it because the car breaks down? It's not because the car breaks down. So there is thought behind the magic.
And Chris, just the other one, the ejector seat. Was that a thought, or did you think, nah, forget it, it'll make it bulky? Or
well, going back to what we said earlier, I worked back in the day on Ultra Agents, and I did the Ultra Agents flying car, which was based on Blade Runner, in my mind. So I took a lot of inspiration because I had the two wheels like separated and the axle and stuff. So I took a lot of inspiration from that, and in that I wanted an ejector seat. So in that I built an ejector seat. And that is, so I'd already had a little bit of experience in there. So when I started on the DB5, I was like, oh, I've got to get an ejector seat. You can't physically get a minifigure closer to the floor unless you move the 2x2 that Daniel's sitting on. But then you can't see him out the dashboard. There's no physical way that I can think of, unless you make a whole new chassis that's got like a built-in ejector function, to achieve it. And I know internally a lot of the guys from different teams, that's the first question they kept asking me. And I would just be like, go away. I'm spending weeks trying to figure out how to build the headlights. And you're asking me about an ejector. I was like, guys, you're killing me right now. So we did think about it. It'll take a smarter designer than me to achieve it. So if you can, please show me.
Just out of curiosity, then, when it comes to the Aston Martin, you've got the new printed headlights, and that's a new piece as well, and then you've got the new hood, the new roof as well, which is a brand new element. Who you design them? You get someone to prototype those for you. Who do you go to say, please, can we use this to make it a set? What would be the process of someone somewhere saying, yes, Chris, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and I'd imagine there's maybe, I don't know, some compromises along the way as well, because that's life. Where do you go when you say, we've got this set, but I'm going to require this print here, this new mold here for a new type of brick? Where do you go? How does that happen, Chris?
You start with a sketch model. So like when you guys are doing mocks, that's how we start as well. Our office looks kind of similar to the rooms you're all sitting in right now, where we've got a set of drawers behind us, custom built drawers, all specially designed that can specifically hold all the Lego pieces. And we just build at our desk. We build a first sketch model that looks nothing like the final model. It's really just very crude. It's probably too big than it needs to be. We try also to make all the cars in the same scale with each other. The Audi's probably is the one it's the most tall. That was because if you want to make it accurate, you need to make it tall. But that's how we start. When we're doing that, we find out, okay, we get a rough idea of what can we achieve today and what can we not achieve today. With the DB5, for example, I've built more speed champions than anybody. I've built most of the 6 wide. I've built 50% of the 8 wide. I've never found a harder car than the DB5. Now, I keep saying that every year, every time I do a new car. So maybe it's the fact that we're pushing our team harder. I don't know. But the bumper on the front and the back of the DB5 is 9 wide. So it sticks out half a module each side and half a module at the front. To achieve that and then build headlights on top of it, it's a very weird measurement. It's not a jumper plate. It's not other things. It's just tricky to do. So there was areas like that where we knew to achieve this, we need elements. We looked into brick building it, the headlights with like 1x1 rounds and things. It didn't give you a clean look. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to release a model, or at least that's the precedent I've set to the team, that looks kind of like a sketch model, that kind of looks a bit unfinished.
Yeah.
These are meant to be the super sleekest cars in the world, so it needs to look quite clean. So that's why we came up with those elements. It's kind of more of a need to basis. And then in the team, we kind of just say, we're either given a number, said, okay, for this product you can have, or for this assortment of products, you can have 2-3 elements. But it really comes down to where you need them. With the DB5, that was the first ever product that I've actually built myself into a corner and said, I can't do this without a new piece. And that was it wasn't the headlight piece, and it wasn't the rear windshield. It was actually the inverted slope with the cutout. That was the only way we could find an element that wasn't really specific, that you could only use on one product, but it was an element that you could use on any product you could imagine, but would actually solve the problem that we had. Things like the rear windshield on the DB5, that was made because we built it with existing elements. We could do that. We brick built it. We built it with existing canopies. It just didn't match the shaping, and it didn't match the cleanness that we needed, and it had corners in places we didn't want. So what we did is we decided to make a new element, and then we decorated it in such that if we know there's a lot of guys out there who don't like stickers. There's a lot of guys out there who will build a Speed Champions car and not put any stickers on. That's okay. If you want to do that, we fully support that. And that's why there's certain things as well on the cars that we have to decorate. So that's why the rear canopy is decorated, not stickered. That's why if you look at what we did in 2018, where we used to add stickers to windshields, we cut that out. Every windshield is now a decoration. So that, for example, if you build the Countach, you're going to get the white A-pillars, you're going to get the white roof, everything's correct. You don't need to really try to add in extra stickers. That's going to be tricky. Also,
Speaking of the
headlights.
Countach, is there a reason why the color of the roof was chosen? Because I really love the car. It's just, if I had a wish to be fulfilled, I would wish the canopy would be a bit more darker in color.
As in a bit bolder, a bit whiter.
Yeah. That is printed twice. So that isn't one print of white, that's 2 layers of white. Wow. And even if you printed 3 layers of white, it would be the same level. But this is something that as well is before we get the feedback, we challenge internally ourselves that. So we spend a lot of time challenging those exact principles. It's just, that's what we can achieve right now. At least that's the conversations we're having internally. So we're also challenging ourselves internally, saying, how do we make this better next year? How do we get this improved next year? So yeah, completely aware. Like we don't choose the color. We're not saying, oh, this is Lego white, so we'll just make it lighter. We always do try to match as much as possible. But yeah, this is currently the best we can do. And when we're developing a product, we're actually using like placeholder stickers, or a lot of our graphics we'll draw on by hand with a pen, saying this is where we want stuff to be. So it's not until the product's finally finished and stuff that you'll see this is how the final prints all look, and then you can start tweaking. So I hope that makes sense.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, Chris, just wondering, why was Daniel Craig chosen as a minifigure?
Because he was the only one that's young enough that could come after me. So I had to choose it. No, it's because we're very fortunate. So everybody thinks that you just work with James Bond on this product, but we actually worked with Aston Martin directly, who we just worked with the launch before with the Valkyrie and the GT. But we also got to work directly with the James Bond company. So a lot of the times we might work with Aston Martin, and then you'll see that all of the sponsors like Pirelli or Michelin or whoever, we don't directly work with them. We work with Aston Martin, and they work with those other teams. With this product, we work directly with Aston Martin, and we work directly with Eon, who owns the James Bond company. And that was something that we discussed as a team, is that if you're appealing just to adults, or if you're appealing just to me, I'm going to pick Sean Connery every day. Unless it's a Sunday where I might give you, Pierce Brosnan.
Yay, Ireland.
But most kids, their James Bond is Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
And most adults have experienced all of them, so they can see Sean Connery, Roger Moore, Daniel Craig. So picking Daniel Craig, there's a new movie coming out, or just came out just before we launched the product, which if anyone hasn't seen it, I really loved it, so please watch. That's what is a James Bond that's going to be appealing to both kids and adults. Plus, it's going to be 60 years. Actually, it was a couple of days ago. It was 2 days ago, I believe, was the 60th anniversary since Dr. No had been in the movies. So 60 years of James Bond, it's a big deal. And who's James Bond right now? Daniel Craig. So there's a lot of thought that goes behind it. However, even though it was that's why we included the different license plates. And that's also why if you look at the minifigure, the suit's kind of more casual. It's definitely based more on Daniel Craig's suit because they're all slightly different. But you can put any head and wig on that you want, and you can create your own personal James Bond. The reason that we didn't include, because we did discuss including different heads for each of the different actors, there's certain limitations you can achieve accuracy-wise with a minifigure head. It's easy if it's like Captain Jack Sparrow because he's got certain braids and things, or if it's a pirate, he's got scars and different things. Or if it's Darth Vader, he's got a specific head. When you're trying to differentiate Sean Connery from Pierce Brosnan, from Daniel Craig, at this tiny scale, the only difference is pretty much going to be the eye color. So it didn't make sense because if anything, it would probably cause more confusion, especially when we take kids and younger audience into mind. So,
Chris, I'm fine. I'm just quickly again. I'm fine with them. I think it's cool. Do the actors have to lend their image to you guys, or is that just a myth?
Well, the actors definitely get a say. Right. So Daniel Craig, we just sent him it, and he was okay with it because he's working directly with Eon, and he's a really apparently one of the stories they said was the receptionist sent out an invite to everybody in the company saying, "Hey, I'm having a wedding, please come along." Sending it to Daniel Craig as well, assuming he wouldn't turn up, and they just turned up to the wedding. So he's like a super laid back, chill guy.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Vin Diesel is the face of the Fast and Furious brand. So when we were sending it off to him, the minifigure looks very basic. We went through so many versions. We went through where he had a t-shirt, where he had a tank top, where he had one eyebrow raised, where he was pulling a certain pose from a certain scene. We went through quite a lot just to get to one which in the end is actually quite generic.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely include them because think about it the other way around. If I was picking your face to put on a minifigure, you would definitely want to have some input. So we really want to approach this as a partnership, and any excuse to talk to these actors is fantastic.
Is there such a thing, Si? I don't believe it.
Generic bald guy with glasses, yeah.
No, but you are being immortalized as a minifigure.
Yeah,
so you want to get it right, don't you?
Who wouldn't want to be?
It might be the only one you ever have. So you want
unless you're Chris Pratt.
One of the funny things that we talked about is there was a colleague on the team who'd only seen a couple of the Fast and Furious movies. Me being into cars, I've seen all of them. And we had a discussion internally about, are we okay with Vin Diesel having the stud on the head and not a wig? Because most of the time we have wigs or hats or helmets and things. So the conclusion of the proposal was, why don't we just give him a hat, just a random hat? And I was like, in no Fast and Furious movie has Vin Diesel ever worn a hat. And then we started looking into like, what about the bald cap from the Lego Batman movie, which was made for like Egghead and stuff? We're like, no, that's specifically designed for a character as a joke. Like you can't do this. So yeah, there was a lot of internal jokes.
Should have just got him holding a sign saying "family." Everyone didn't know who it was.
I mean, the interesting thing with it, with you've gone kind of branched off with the theme with these particular two cars, the Fast and Furious and the DB5 for James Bond. It's the first time that you guys have used skin pigment, skin tone colors and stuff like that. Was that something you specifically wanted, or did someone come up with the idea of saying, well, actually, Speed Champions normally just use the generic yellow tone. For this one, we can actually make it even more realistic, like the cars are to a certain degree.
Absolutely. So it's funny because Speed Champions we've pretty much been a 5-man team, I guess, in terms of there's myself leading the team. We've got Sir, my right-hand man, who's been coming back since we started 8 Wide. We've got a graphic designer, Klaus, who does all of our graphics. Fantastic. We've got Martin, who does our packaging, and we've got Jeffrey, who does our element design. That's pretty much the team that's created and driven 8 Wide. Yeah. Everything we kind of come up with ourselves, we come up with in that team. And skin tone was something we talked about a lot because these products are going to be on the shelves at the same time. Is that strange to have a yellow minifigure in one and a skin tone in another? I actually am to blame for the first ever Lego set we did, if anyone remembers the Lego movie, that had a skin tone and a yellow tone in the same exact product. And that was the super secret police dropship in the Lego movie, where it had Batman and it had Johnny Thunder and it had the Green Ninja and all that stuff.
Love it.
If anyone's to blame again, I'll take the blame. But the difference is, if we talk about a Ferrari LaFerrari, who comes to mind? Nobody, because you're thinking of the car. If I talk about the Back to the Future DeLorean, everybody thinks of Marty McFly or Doc Brown. If I talk about the Ghostbusters Ecto-1, 4 faces appear in your mind. So it's the same. If you talk about James Bond, 1 of 7 guys' face or 6 guys' face will appear in your mind. If you talk about Fast and Furious and you talk about Dom's Charger, it's not just the Charger from Fast and Furious, it's Dom's Charger. So with normal Speed Champions, the car is the king. That's kind of our slogan in the team, is the car is always the king. The vehicle is the king. When it comes to the movie and TV and IP entertainment vehicles, the character is just as important. So, for example, if you were to do the A-Team van, you think about the A-Team. If you're to do the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo, you think about Scooby-Doo and the gang. If you think about the Pizza Planet van from Toy Story, you're thinking about Buzz and Woody. So if you think about Fab 1 from Thunderbirds, which is a personal favorite of mine, you're thinking about Parker and Lady Penelope. So entertainment IP vehicles, the character's importance inside the car is greatly important. We're not going to put that minifigure on the box like we were talking about earlier, Si. We're going to still keep the one-to-one because the car is still the reason we're doing the product. But the character's importance increases significantly. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so for next year, actually, do you know what? Let's hold it there with the question around these movie TV cars. Have they been well received in the sense that people use the supercars, and these are supercars of a sense, but has it been welcomed? I mean, we loved it. I think everyone universally on this panel welcomed the DB5 and Don's Charger. We've got Ninja out there as well. He's based in California, and he is a massive Speed Champions fan. He really is. And Ninja, hope all is good with you, my friend. But yeah, was it kind of exciting when? I mean, how did that idea ignite as well? Like who came up with the idea and said, you know what, Chris, I think it's about time we did some cars that are based around movies. Like, where did that idea come from? Because that's the thing. It's not just a case of coming up with the idea. It's then selling it to the business. So the business think, oh, actually, yeah, we can definitely do something with this.
And just to tack on to Greg's, and why pick Speed Champions?
Well, I'm again to blame. So Speed Champions is a small team, and because of that, we're fortunate because we're kind of left in the corner and allowed to come up with crazy ideas. How do you expand on? How do you do different things than you did today? So if you follow what we've been doing since 2019 with the last 6 wide, every year I'm trying to include more IP partners. So that's why we introduced Dodge and Mini. Then we introduced the following year Nissan, Formula E, Lamborghini. Then we introduced Toyota, and then there's Koenigsegg, and there's Lotus, and there's Aston Martin, and constantly adding new IPs. Also, there's different types of vehicles. So we started out with supercars and GT and F1. Now, if you ask a lot of people, they'll think that that is Speed Champions. But since the second launch, 2016, we started introducing LMP, iconic cars, muscle cars. We've introduced drag cars, with the dragster. We've introduced the car. I've looked into concept. We've got a couple of concepts in there. So yeah, every year. So and things like what is Speed Champions? When I suggested and pushed for the Urus SUV, there was people who thought on our team who thought, but SUVs aren't cool. And I was saying, guys, this SUV is going to be faster than a Porsche 911 round a track, and it's got a Lamborghini logo, and it looks awesome. This is cool. Like, okay, it doesn't look like a hypercar. That's okay. Can you imagine it on the front of a Top Gear magazine? If the answer is yes, then it's for us. Yeah. So we started out with things like the SUV. We did the John Cooper Works buggy. We did the Ford Bronco, which is a personal favorite of mine. Top Fuel Dragster. I loved seeing everybody speculate because we kind of released what the brands we're working with that year. And when we were pitching, when everybody found out we were doing Dodge again, every vehicle Dodge did was in forums online where people were saying, I bet it's this, I bet it's that. Not one person suggested a dragster. So I also like removing the repetition.
Yeah.
To do that, absolutely. There's a nice purple coffee.
It's wicked.
To do that, there is limitations on it. Yes, we can introduce concept cars or asymmetrical cars like old, like the Jag-E type and stuff. You can introduce police cars, like Dubai's got fantastic, all their supercars, police cars in Dubai. You can introduce all these different things, but that will have a end point. So my question was, how do you keep that going? And for me, what is my favorite car? So every time I was telling people, they kept asking, what's your favorite car? And I would think of Aston Martin DB5. I would think of Fab 1 from Thunderbirds. I would think of Back to the Future's DeLorean. And all these cars. And then I started realizing that they're all from TV shows and movies that I grew up with, or 1960s Batmobile that I watched with my family as a kid, and all that Flintstones vehicle, all those kind of things. Yeah. So all of a sudden I realized that, or we came to the conclusion, you can do the coolest Ferrari in the world, and that's going to either appeal to petrol heads or Ferrari fanatics. And that's what Speed Champions has been doing. So every time you buy a Ferrari, you're going to get a different experience. Every time you buy any brand, if you're just a McLaren guy, you're going to get a different experience. Every time you buy any Speed Champions, you're also going to get a different experience. That's why we put in different building techniques and really challenge ourselves. The natural evolution for me to continue that was touching upon different areas of car fandom. So you might not care anything about supercars or rally cars or racing, but if you grew up watching James Bond, you'll probably be a fan of a DB5, or you'll probably be a fan of a car that turns into a submarine, or you'll probably be a fan of the Fast and Furious where it's Dom's Charger, or I don't know, BMW i8 from Mission Impossible. Like, you'll probably love the cars from the movies that you love. So that was kind of the starting point. And then from that, we kind of clicked onto the realization, creator experts already doing vehicles like this, and Technic's already doing things like this. And between those two and us, we're the 3 areas in Lego that does IP automotive vehicles. Why are we not doing the same? So that's allowed us to say, let's do it. And what makes us different is that we've got a minifigure inside, so you finally get the character in the car that you saw them in on the movie. Plus, also, you can get the same experience for $20 instead of having to pay $200 or $300, which we do know that's not exactly in the realm of a kid's pocket money. So for us, it ticked a lot of boxes. And me being a movie geek myself, it kind of was a bit of a selfish thing on my part, where I was like, how can I become more engaged with work? Well, this is definitely a way to do it. So, yeah.
I know this isn't my show, Greg. It's a different show. But I do have another question, and I think it's quite interesting. Okay, Chris, when you saw DC got that Batmobile, were you not thinking to yourself, "Oh, I wish I had that Batmobile for myself"? Because the one that just released, what was it? I think last year.
Well, me and Craig were talking about this, and we reckon there's definitely an influence on the Batman movie and the Tumbler. And the Tumbler as well. Yeah, we came prepared.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
66 one, Craig.
Yeah, I have an overview of all of the history of every Lego car we've ever done.
Oh,
and that includes
that'd be a good
every
book.
IP.
I'm just throwing it out there, Lego. That's a good book, by the way.
Every time one comes out, I buy it, I build it, I study it, and I see what they've done. Because the only way we get better as well is by studying what everybody else is doing. So the classic 60s Batmobile, that was like the first one. That came out by itself. Yeah, that one. It first came out in the big old Batcave, which was amazing, by my colleague Adam. And then it came out by itself as a small product, again by Adam, because he is bonkers about that TV show. He's in love with it. And I don't think there's a better guy who could do those products. Part of me was like, yes, this is an automotive car. This is why can't we? How do we get this into Speed Champions? However, saying that, if you're going to do a Batmobile, put it in the Batman project, because you could then open the door to the Tumbler, of course, the different types of Batmobiles, but you could also open the door to, why does it need to be wheeled vehicles? Because technically, I would argue, and this is where everyone thinks I'm just bonkers, that the Sand Speeder in Star Wars is Luke Skywalker's supercar. So if you were to open the door and think about IP movie vehicles, that's kind of like his car. So then it depends how far you want to push it, because then do you get into the car from Blade Runner, or do you get into the question of, does a car have to have wheels? Does it not have to have wheels? How many wheels does it have to have? Because there's movie cars that have more than 2 wheels. But then also at the same time, if you look back at the history of real cars, there's McLarens out there that's got 6 wheels. So it's a domino effect. And a lot of people can spend all day like going on it. This is what we've spent 6-7 years sitting opposite each other like we're doing now, just going backwards and forwards, asking these questions, geeking out and kind of going down the rabbit hole. So I would love if we could do a Speed Champions Batmobile. However, I personally actually think it would be better in the superheroes team. Yeah. The question I would ask everybody here is, there's a lot of people who say that Speed Champions cars are now too big for the minifigure. Rightly so. Speed Champions cars do look tall next to a minifigure, but there's a lot of reasoning behind that. If you look at the Batmobile you just picked up, so that is in Speed Champions scale. If you put that next to, say, Domus Charger we just did, or any like the Challenger we did, if you take the one from the Batman.
Which one against? This one against?
The other Batmobile. So the one from the recent Batman movie. If you compare that to, do you have Dom's Charger at all?
I don't have it to hand. No, sorry.
Okay. That one there, even next to those 2 cars, that car is massive compared to a minifigure.
100% is.
And yet it's based off a muscle car. So it's, I would say, because it's funny, because everybody comments on the scale of hours next to minifigures. When it's a Batmobile, nobody says that. So I think those are the kind of questions as well that we also ask internally about proportions and things.
That leads me into a question I wanted to ask you, was going back to when you made that decision to go to 8 wide, did you feel a lot of pushback from the city builders? Because all of a sudden they're sort of too wide for the average city base plate, you know, all that sort of side of things. Just because I hear that every now and again, people go, I don't like Speed Champions anymore because they don't fit in my city, you know.
That is probably the #1 complaint we get these days in terms of, but the thing is, it's a very small complaint. It's the one that we hear the most, but it's not the one, it's not by the majority of our consumers. It might be by like 5%.
The thing is, right, when it comes to the cars that say city build or back to these cars here, I mean, I like these because they kind of they were kind of like they kind of represented Ferrari. But you see, for me, this Ferrari here, this crosses two bridges. This is a crossover here. This is not only displayable, it will look quite sociably acceptable to have it on a shelf in your house, right? But also as well, it's very playable as well, and there's very few Lego things that actually cross over like that, and that is what I think is kind of cool. And yeah, it's not necessarily going to fit in a city, but you can make your roads wider. You can, especially with the new roads.
The one thing I hear a lot of people say is exactly like you were just talking about, is why doesn't it fit on the base plates anymore? And there is speculation online. I can answer that straight away.
Go for it, Chris.
Speed Champions were never designed to fit into Lego City.
Oh, I can appreciate that.
Speed Champions was a separate entity. It could work with modular buildings, for example. It could maybe work on a base plate, but it was never ever part of the brief when we were launching this to make it part of Lego City, because the cars are too long compared to Lego City cars. They might have the same width, but the proportions are completely different. So I know there is people out there who's like, oh, these were designed for City. They never were. That was just because minifigure scale cars were 6 wide. That was just the way they were. Originally they were 4 when Town and stuff was created. Then they went to 6. And that's just went back in the day. And I was on the team, so I can openly say, even when we launched Speed Champions, we considered going to 8, and we thought it was too much at the time. We tried 6 for several years. There was an audience for it, but there was more people saying, well, you know, it's not quite right here, it's not quite right there. So then we just asked ourselves, can we do it better than we do today? However, not everybody has a huge city at home.
Yeah.
And if you look at, for example, the modular buildings, which a lot of people collect as well, and they were used in the Lego movies and different entertainment videos, they don't have base plates, streets built all off in front of them. So if you've got that at home on your shelf all lined up your Lego street, you've got a bit of footpath, and then there's the table. So you can park up your Ferrari or your Lamborghini or whatever outside one of those modular buildings, and it'll all kind of work together. So it was never meant to fit into any other product line. Otherwise, it would have been Lego City _ Speed Champions.
Yeah,
it's its own separate entity.
Oh, I'm only relaying what I hear people say. You know, I agree. I don't think they have to sit in the same world neither. But you know, that was just something that I remember that a few
they still fit okay on these. They still fit okay and look okay on these ones. The other ones, the brick built one, it's really tight.
Well, it is if you don't build them like I build them. If you build them like I,
you can. That's the beauty. The new ones you can actually widen out. So So
I think that's the challenge, is because Speed Champions, we've seen that. I think we started it ourselves because we've openly asked, tell us what we can do better. We've openly put that question out there every time we talk to you guys and stuff, and we get great questions, which allows us to go back to the garage and think, are we doing this as good as we can?
Is that what you call your design room?
Actually, we do. Our meeting area is called the garage.
That's brilliant.
We were going to call it the pit stop, but another one is called the pit stop. But if you look at a Creator Expert, a Creator 3-in-1 car, those are much bigger scale. Nobody ever says they should fit on base plates, but they do with Speed Champions.
Yes.
If you look at one of the Batmobiles, nobody ever says, this is too big for a minifigure, but they do on Speed Champions. So if we were to do a Batmobile in Speed Champions, everyone would say, oh, this has to be in scale with the other cars, because we've already set that parameter ourselves, saying all the vehicles need to be in scale with each other. That's why if you look at the Bronco is 9 wide, where everything else is 8 wide. All of the cars are kind of in the same scale, same like it's the lengths that differentiate them and the width slightly. Because we've set that precedent ourselves, saying every year we want to get better. I think, or I guess, that's why everybody also puts maybe extra pressure on us. So saying, why doesn't it fit the base plate? Because I would just say, if you really want to fit the base plate, let's make a new base plate. You know, like let's flip it. How do we come up with a new solution where we still get better cars, but we can put it into a brick built city? So
yeah, that's true. You got to move with the times, and sometimes those base plates have been around for a long time now. And Speed Champions has evolved from 6 to 8, and it's all for the better for it. Good stuff. Good questions.
Why Speed Champions just stayed with cars and not thought about doing boats or motorcycles or
like motorsport stuff in
caravans?
General.
Are they? Well,
tell you what, you could take the man out of the West Country, but you can't take the West Country out of the man.
Forklifts, cranes.
Yeah, Speed Champion forklift range,
roller boots. What are they? Whatever you can go fast.
That's a good question. The boat one I was thinking of too, Cabbage.
Power boat.
I got carried away, sorry.
It's a very good question. We've definitely thought about caravans a lot. More in a negative light. No. We have actually asked those questions. Going back to when I said about Blade Runner and stuff and cars that can fly, we have also there's nothing in the name Speed Champions that says anything about cars. So we have asked those questions. Why don't we do a boat? Could we do a plane? Lego City Great Vehicles already kind of ticks those areas, because you'll see if you buy a Lego City Great Vehicle, you can get a speed boat or a race plane or a rally car or a mini F1 car and different things. With us, it's kind of appealing to adults if you did a specific brand of plane or a specific brand of boat. But do kids care? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. We haven't done it, so we don't know. But until we know that, that's a door that we haven't opened. I'm not saying that we never would open the door. It's just right now, everything we do, we always test with kids. We always test with teens and adults. We really test everything thoroughly. We just don't know if you guys want that or not. If you guys want that, let us know.
Feedback,
we'll definitely start thinking about it as an option. But
and Chris, just
not something anyone's asked for before.
Out of curiosity, how do people feed it back to you guys? Is it just a case of emailing Lego, or could you please pass this on to the Speed Champions department?
Can you get this through to Chris, please? We know Chris.
Is there a process for that, Chris, or is it a case of you kind of watch what people are doing on magazines, what they say about it on, say, BrickSet and things like that? Is that the thing?
No, about 5 o'clock on a Monday afternoon, I'm always in the same town centre, just with a bit of a notepad, and anyone who comes up with ideas, I just write down the ideas. No, to be honest, we are like addicts to forums.
Yeah.
So every time that you see Blocks Magazine comes out, or BrickSet, or all these different YouTube channels, Amazon, when guys are writing on Amazon, yes, in the BI we've got a thing where you can go in and you can give your feedback at the end of our BI every time. We're like sponges to that.
Yeah. So
we're going through and we'll see, like for example, in the comment section of our live chat now, there's excellent questions coming through that I'm also making mental notes of. The thing is, I've done that for like 6 years, so a lot of the times I can tell what, for example, when we were talking earlier about the number one complaint right now is number of stickers. It's already on my radar. It's already stuff we're constantly working on. So, for example, if you were to, which I do this because I'm living Speed Champions. Every year on Speed Champions, we're getting more decorations and we're getting less stickers. Now we can't actually go full decorations and no stickers at all. I can also give you reasons why that, but we are aware that that's people's pain points. So every year we're trying to reduce that pain point. We'll never remove it, but we can at least improve it. So yeah, that's how we figure out, or we get in contact with you guys, is when you're writing comments in the comment sections or asking questions. We fans as well, so we're sat there asking the same questions or reading your questions, going, you know what, he's got a very good point right there. So yeah, that's what I would say. Is I would say keep asking those questions in the comment section.
Cool. All right, that's how we do that. Now, straight away, because blimey, this evening's going so quick. And
I'm just looking at the time too. It's going quick, man.
I said to Chris, I said, don't worry, we'll talk about all sorts of things. And every 10 minutes or so, we'll come back to you. And he's like, it's
probably my fault. I'm sorry.
But anyway, let's get some. Let's show some pictures, folks. And then what we'll do is I'll pick a few questions from you guys and girls out there, and we'll do a quick fire round at Chris. And then, of course, we'll be near the end of the stream. But you guys and girls out there, hey, Echo, how you doing, mate? He's a big car fan. He's like our Technics guru. He is Steve. But please, folks, everybody you'll find, other than Chris, because Chris doesn't exist on any social media anywhere. He's a Lego designer through and through. Please do check everybody's details down in the description below. Everybody's down there. Everybody's practically on Instagram. There's a few of us, the oldies, are on Twitter as well. Some of us are even on Twitch. Some of us are even going to go on Twitch for the first time this weekend. Isn't that right, Cabbage?
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Is it something to do with birds or something?
It's about Twitch. You only did Twitch for the first time this weekend?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I'm doing it.
Oh, right, he's doing it anyway. He probably thinks it's some sort of nervous thing, folks. But anyway, he's
side effect of COVID. That's what it is.
I'm on Twitch at the moment. But
thanks
check
for
him out, folks. You're welcome, mate. And you know what? While you're down there, we've got 46 likes. Come on, you lot. Let's get up to 50. You know how I like a nifty 50. Anyway, let's take a look at some pictures, shall we? Anyway, let's get this up. We've been sent some pictures. There's a dodgy bloke called Richard sent the first one for you.
Nice.
Even.
Oh, wow.
We had the WRC roll around last weekend here, so we're out watching all the WRC cars, and Rovanpera won it, of course. Anybody who follows rally,
yeah.
But yeah, they had some nice cars up there. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Very cool. Very cool. Dare I say, it looks quite like this one.
I'm surprised they let you that close to that, Rich.
Yeah, I nearly got in it.
New Zealand,
no one cares.
Only Greg would do that.
Now, what about this then?
That's beautiful.
That is a nice looking car. Rich, you know a little bit about this. What is it, a Lancia or something? It's called,
Lancia Stratos.
Yeah.
It was the car that you couldn't control in Sega Rally if you ever played that game.
Yeah,
you could. The one car that you simply couldn't drive. You know. So
was it the white one though? Wasn't it? And that.
Yeah, you got it later on. It was. You had the Celica and you had the Delta, but then you got the Stratos later on, and yeah, it was just made it unbearable.
The angles
are a beautiful car.
Like Bambi on ice.
Yeah. It does look a bit uncontrollable, doesn't it? Just looking at it.
Short wheelbase, too much power, and Italian engineering. It's a recipe made in hell.
It's gonna be flamboyant at the very least. I tell you what, I think it's got one windscreen wiper as well, which I love on a car.
I like the way you just described yourself, Richard, in a Juventus top.
Yeah. Is it me? Was it raining out there? You don't have rain in New Zealand, do you?
Yeah, I was absolutely chucking it down, man. You should have seen these guys on the gravel on the Saturday. It was an absolute mess. It was great.
Oh,
that's what rally's all about, isn't it? You know, getting covered in mud.
That's it. It's just the way it goes, isn't it? You even get rain in sunny old New Zealand as well.
These two cars didn't actually participate, admittedly. That was the World Rally cars, so it was the little shopping carts that have big engines in them these days, like the Toyota Yaris and the
Ford,
those sorts of things.
The Ford Puma was out
there. Anyway, lovely car, beautiful car. Thanks for sending that image.
Ford Puma.
Right, oh yeah, no, I was a big fan of that. Honestly, it was like a sort of a sexy looking Fiesta, wasn't it, back in the day?
Yeah, there's a new one.
There's a new one. Such a thing,
a rally
sexy looking Fiesta. Let's be honest.
Well, yeah, I tell you, well. I love the new ones. The old ones, probably less so. They're a bit boxy. But the XR2i, come on, that was a great car. That was.
You're an Austin Allegro man every day of the week.
Austin Allegro. You know, I'm more Allegro than Austin. That's for
and his second car was a Lada Samurai.
What about you, Go?
So this is the Brick Snaps has sent this in. Thank you, Brick Snaps. This is currently, I think, his Lego ideas one that he's done. So that's in Lego ideas. Do get over there and support it, folks. We know we always like to support Martin over at Brick Snaps. Another one we got here. Oh, this is another picture he's done.
Where's the iPad?
Oh, I'm trying something different this week.
He's got all professional on us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
designer on, and he goes all pro, doesn't he?
I'm trying something different. You can still. I'll use the iPad if anyone says that. Monarch sent me a picture now, so I can't. Obviously, I'll have to use the iPad. Don't worry, I've got the back up. Let's do this. Got to play with this. This is actually a set he's built. This looks like a render, but he's actually built this set. Wow. I follow him on Instagram, folks. Great set. Anyway, thank you for that. And this is his Nemo. I found him. What's the blue one? What's all that about?
Story.
The blue one.
Story.
Does he look like that?
Story.
Hey, she.
Wow.
It looks like he's going.
And about a couple of
That's what she
seconds
does.
later,
She's
we'll that's
making
Story.
making the whale noise, isn't she?
Yeah, she doesn't remember anything.
Okay, I like the old coral there. It looks good.
She doesn't remember anything.
See, you're looking at the whole model, and you're like, and that's clearly impressive. I'm looking at it and going, how did they get the wheel arches in above the eyes? Like, I'm really looking at it like element specific.
Brick Snaps.
Nice parts usage, MPU.
Excellent parts usage. Yeah.
Nice parts usage. I love it when you say that. It's
looks like glue to me.
Looks like an illegal technique.
Or Velcro. I don't know.
It does, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Nemo's not looking too sure about it, but yeah, it's good. The coral looks amazing, and all that sort of stuff. Brilliant stuff. And talking of coral, actually, we must ask Ian and Carrie in a minute how they got on last week. This is I didn't know if I wanted to show this or not, but anyway, we are. This is where Chris Chalice hides all these sets, and he specifically makes a point of putting them all upside down as well.
I thought it was a mock. I thought it was very lifelike.
Yeah, he calls it his Lego hole. I didn't really want to say that, but anyway, that's what he calls it, folks.
And everything's upside down.
And everything's upside down. So there we go.
I can't deal with it being upside down. Mine are all the same way around, and when it goes, you move them about. It's mean.
We'll just flip the name round.
Yeah. There we go. Everyone's got funny little names for their things, haven't they? Anyway, this is Greg actually from from Australia. Even though he's originally from England, GJ Bricks. He's done this mock here of a telephone box, which is very nice. I like that. Good old bit of London in there as well. This is from KO. King Aldendorf. There's a Lego Ideas, I think it is. He's doing a Dungeons and Dragons
competition. Yeah.
Competition. This is his entry into it so far that he's mocking up. I'm not sure what's going on.
He's got a wizard, he's got a hunter elf, he's got a dwarf, all the main characters.
We need a Vecna.
Yeah, Vecna.
That sounded like a singer that used to be on X Factor.
It was in Stranger Things. You watched the show, Greg.
Was it? Oh, okay, sorry. There we go. Now this is from Pink Wheels. She didn't draw this, by the way, but she did make this. How about that?
Wow. Nice. Oh wow.
Look at that. Whoa. We've got friends bod down there, and we've got this going on up there as well. Look at that. It's amazing, isn't it? And look at all this Lego here. So it's like a sweet box, isn't it? Well, I quite like doing it like this. It's quite cool. Lots of Lego bits going on there. What are these parts called down there, Craig?
1x2 rounded plate, whatever it is. I've got loads of them.
I like that. They use a lot of them in Speed Champions. They do. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Thank you for that, Pink Wheels. Have we got any more? Oh, there we go. This is from Ray and Ella, as always. He built this especially for you, Chris.
Wow.
Looking nice. Loving that. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, it looks good. Even the stickers look good. Actually, yeah, he's put the Aston Martin on there. I love the. By the way, I've got to say, I love the way you did the bonnet on this with the air intake on the bonnet. Yeah,
we looked into. You can do it very basic if we decorated the side of a tile. So we were looking into, do you do it as a graphic? And we were just like, no, like you have to brick build that. I don't know how we're going to brick build it, but you have to brick build it. And if you have built it, you'll know there's a couple of unique techniques to get the elements.
Just a tad.
Yeah, and that's what we love about the Speed Champions is the techniques, that you cannot deny the techniques in there. And like I say, it's brilliant when other people in the Legos here. This is a brilliant picture. This is from Redmond. And there we go. Look at
it's a little collectible minifigure boat, isn't it?
Yeah. Simply brilliant. We all love CMFs. Cy O'Connor especially loves the CMF series. let's go for this one. This is the Roman Fort by Ozzy Adams. He sent me this last week. I promised him I'd show it off this week. So he's kind of mocking up some stuff. He does some great stuff. Do check him out on Instagram, folks. A lot of people that do brick stuff and mocks and things like that, you'll always find them on Instagram. Less so on Flickr these days, which is handy because that is super high res. But I do like I do like the easiness and the accessibility of using. I can tell who this is, by the way, before I've even opened it. This is, of course, Minifig Who. Gaz. He's a kind of a resident Doctor Who dude. I'm not obviously got the Aston Martin, the Ecto One, Countach. That looks like a Doctor Who mock set over here from the Third Doctor. What was his name?
Brum.
Yeah, was that what it was called? The Brum.
No, I made it up.
Oh, okay.
How do you say the white one at the back again?
How do you say what, Craig?
The middle white one at the back again. How do you say it?
Oh, you say it like this. There you see, teed that up beautifully, didn't we? Yeah, and we got what looks like the one over here, this red one, that looks like something that Chris might have developed in the 70s. Just saying. Anyway, that's I think that's it. That's all the pictures sent on there. But anyway, let's go old school, shall we? Because we've got people that have sent me. How can I put it? They've sent me. Oh God, let me get rid of this.
How are you?
This is where it all goes pear shaped. So first of all, let's get rid of that. Have you moved it? Anyway, let's do that.
I touched it.
There goes that. Okay, so what we're gonna do, folks? I'll show you some pictures now that some people have just decided to send me. I asked people days ago, can you send me pics? And I get about 50% extra pictures sent to me the minute I start showing them all off. But anyway, let's get on them, shall we? Let's get. We've got Brick Bods have sent me a picture. Echo Bricks has sent me a picture. That's it. I was going to be disappointed if you didn't send me anything tonight. Echo. So let's get this up. Here we go. So this is how we do it old school ways, Chris. Here we go. So this is from Echo Bricks. This is a Technics car. This looks right. It looks like it's missing all the body parts, but I guess that's how they do it in the world of Technics. Is that an old one, Steve? Let us know. We've got Bricklicker out there as well. Hey, Bricklicker, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. This is from the Brick Bods, and this is Ian Carey. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this while we're looking at it?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the mock we took to Swindon on Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
And it made it there in one piece. It didn't make it up the stairs in one piece, but it is back together again now.
Yeah.
It's...
I like the way you go. You go, yeah. I love it. And you got the shipwreck there as well. That looks like an old Destiny's Bounty, just put on its side. And
that's the Silent Mary.
Yeah.
Okay. Silent Mary.
So we've done a podcast this week about our experience of displaying at a show, and just before London Calling is our review of the show. If you want to go see other mocks that were there, because there were some really good ones.
That ship had looked better the other way around. I don't know if anyone said that.
So I did think about turning it around halfway through the show.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
If it had fallen apart, then that would have been a pain.
It was the other way around. It didn't take out as many children's eyes as well, so we were trying to do maximum damage.
Yeah, you want to keep them away from the set somehow.
Oh.
Test that public liability insurance. Yeah.
Did you guys enjoy showing off your mocks?
Yeah, it was so rewarding. It was really rewarding. Oh yeah, no, listen to the podcast. That's what.
Okay, all right. Yeah, don't give it all away. Okay. I love it. They're so in love with each other, but Ian's always like, "No, rein it in. Make people want to watch things." Mark sent me this. He says that this is his fave Speed Champions set of this year. Of course, it is this one. Ding, 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 ding. There we go.
Lovely.
All that. Very, very cool. Like that. Nice to see someone read the memo. Who else we got?
Can you sing the James Bond theme next time? That sounded more like Julian Banjos.
Yeah, it's the LBB remix. You know what I mean? Nicole sent me this picture as well. It's actually a post. There we go. This is a post that she said. This is the pictures that she's got in the background. We've got the upside down, the what is it called? The roller coaster, and the Sanctum Sanctorum. over there in the background. Right by Minifig Who and 2 others, apparently, just in case you wondered. Who else we got here? We got this one from Matt Elder. He's done. It looks like a BG with a poor man's Dalek. I don't know. It could be Cassian Endor with that droid. But there you go. It's all right, isn't it? Is it a cross between a Dalek and a Henry Hoover? I don't know. Can you see that? Can anyone else see
Henry Hoover?
It is, isn't it? Cassian. I tell you what, mate. I tell you what as well, folks. If anyone's interested, right? I'm going to be on a Planet Tech stream straight after this. About 10:30 it will be. I can go upstairs and stretch my legs.
I don't know what you're going to talk about though, because this week's episode was dull as dishwater.
Oh no, I thought it was good. See, I thought it was interesting.
It was my favorite. I really liked it this week. I didn't fall asleep.
I really liked this week's one.
I really liked it as well.
I did as well. I even took notes.
Dull as dishwater.
I'm struggling to get into the whole thing.
Good. I tell you what, I've got two things I want to just mention about it, right? Because we all seen it. I'm not giving away spoilers, folks, right? But there's a scene, and this might interest you as well, Chris. Actually, there's a scene. Chris, have you seen Andor this week?
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness for that. There's a scene this week where they're on the I've forgotten the bloody name of the planet now. What's the name of the planet? It's a big city. Begins with C.
Coruscant.
Coruscant, right? They're on Coruscant, right? And they're just landing. It looks like they're in some sort of there's a giant ship just landing on Coruscant, and they're walking through what looks like an airport, but for Coruscant, yeah.
Spaceport.
Yeah, spaceport. Thank you. That's actually a McLaren building.
It is, yeah.
That's the McLaren building, which is pretty cool. And what was the other thing I was going to say about it? Completely forgotten now. Oh yeah, that was it.
They're going to make that her car.
Yeah, that would be. I tell you what, that would be a good one. Just throwing it out there, Chris. Hasn't got no wheels. Hasn't got no wheels, but we don't need wheels, according to Chris. Don't need wheels. We just need the wheel to make it. That's what we need.
The car was more interesting than the scene with the dog.
Oh, listen to it.
Like we really needed the daughter trouble, didn't we?
Did you see the advert for the new Star Wars breakfast as well? That's definitely coming. And what's the other? Oh yeah, that's it. There's a thing where they're in the field. It looks like they're in Mount Snowdon or something like that. And there's a TIE fighter that goes right through it, and everyone goes bloody hell like this. Right? Do you remember that bit? Was you awake at that part? Okay.
I never made that noise, but carry on.
Well, sorry, it didn't quite sound like that. But did anyone notice the sheep didn't like batter an eyelid?
I didn't know there was a sheep there. Did you see it?
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
The magic of television, mate. The magic of television.
CGI.
I suppose I was going to say you wouldn't. That's a sheep joke. You wouldn't.
I get it.
Okay, there we go.
God, honestly. All right. I think
it's one of my better ones.
Blame me on the fever. Honestly,
that was bad, mate.
Oh, there we go. God. They're all coming out now. But anyway, thank you everybody for sending in your pictures. Honestly, apologies.
I just sent you one, and you didn't. Do you know?
Oh, he sent me one. Why did you send me one now? Right, what's it going to be? Let's have a look. Maybe worth it.
So there we go. The camera.
It's barely worth it.
It's not one of you, Cabbage.
I didn't say that.
I was meant to say that with the mic.
Greg might have it under his breath.
Good job. I'm not near a mic when I said it. There we go. This is how can I describe this? This is BrickStage's venture into the Avatar theme. It is. Tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here, mate.
Most of the sets, apart from one. The one that has Trudy in, which is also Letty, and so you can get her and put her in your Dodge Dom's Charger and have a co-pilot.
No, you can't, mate. There's a whole NOS set up in there you'd have to remove to get her in, to be honest.
Yeah, you do a little bit of modification. That's fine.
Give me NOS any day. That's all I can say. It's better than coffee.
No, it's not NOS, guys.
Oh, it's not. What is it?
What is
it? The NOS?
It's a fire extinguisher.
Oh, it's the extinguisher.
Let's see. What do we know?
On Dom's Charger, the NOS is actually in the trunk. He's got 2 cylinders in the trunk.
It's blue, isn't it?
I tell you what, it's one of those ones, isn't it? When you're having an argument about what it is, and it's actually, you know what we could ever do? We could do if only we had the designer here to put us right.
I was going to say, I would have won that argument if it wasn't for the designer being here.
All right, cool. Well, look,
Damn it!
Let's have a quick fire of some questions from the audience. So, don't worry, folks. I've been starring off a few of them. What we've got here? Axel Plate. He says, I'm just picking the ones I'm looking at. Literally, he says, and these are all completely directed at you, Chris. So I do apologise before we start. He goes, Axel Plate says, so if your work is design Lego sets, do you have Lego at home too as a hobby?
No.
He doesn't. Okay, that's easy.
A lot of my colleagues do, because a lot of my colleagues come from the AFOL community.
Yeah.
But I never came from the AFOL community. I came from like a designer background.
Nice.
So
okay.
after spending 9 to 5 building Lego, and then also it's even when I'm not building at home, it's still on my mind trying to figure out how do I build that headlight or that tail light.
Yeah.
I don't have. I need a break from Lego on an evening, I'm afraid.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that is fair enough. And
look at us all like, what?
A break?
I kind of get it, because I don't want to design kitchens when I'm at home.
Yeah, but
I get that.
And everyone says to me, "You want to be a Lego designer?" And I say, "Actually, I don't, because then that would be my."
You don't
work.
necessarily enjoy it. Yeah.
I get it.
People say that. Do you want to be a YouTuber? I'm like, no. And then no one's ever surprised. So great question. Thank you for that, Axel. Welcome back, Jess. Have you changed your top? You look different.
Yeah, I was sweating it up, I guess so.
Oh, okay. All right. It's good.
It must be like cabbage.
Sweaty the bottom section is all sweaty tonight.
You can't catch it on the stream.
No. This is a good question.
The 3 mingers.
You look sweaty. This is a really good question from Minifig Who, actually. He says, question, the glass windscreen parts, and this is a bit a bear to bug, because I'm always picking this up in all my reviews. Can anything be done to protect them better from scratches, etc.? I think it is a separate bag in the DeLorean.
The sweatshirt off and...
Yeah.
I think it depends on the size of the element, because sometimes if they're a certain size, for example, like windscreen, the DeLorean, things like this, if they're a certain size element, they're more prone to being scratched. So therefore, we put them into its own separate bag. If they're a smaller element, most of the time there's no scratches. It's more of a rare occasion. So it comes down to the size of the element.
Cool. All right, that's fair enough. You're completely right. But yeah, I got this. We'll put it there. But the what's the name on FERRIX, ambush on FERRIX set, and you could just actually see it there, folks. That there, it comes with like a canopy top, a bit like the Countach one, actually. I think
it's the Speed Champions one, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's scratch the hell. It really is. But there we go. It gives me something to say in a review.
You can always take the Technic approach and just remove windows.
Oh, there we go.
We just start selling spaceships with no.
That's not a solution, Chris. That's not a solution. Okay, so
the ship in the series was also pretty banged up, so it's
it's just weathering, isn't it?
It's pretty banged up. Fair enough. All right, we'll pass on that one. GLS, aka Doc Sampson, it says it's a coincidence that Speed Champion cars are in the latest car magazines when they are released. I don't know. Is it? Did I make a point of doing that?
It not really. It just depends on what happens. It's coincidence.
It just depends what happens.
Technic's in a lot of car magazines as well, so it just depends. There's nothing set up like that. We do work very closely with IP partners in terms of going to events like, for example, the Geneva Motor Show. So there is times when we do big things that go along with events.
Yeah.
So, for example, I designed right now in the London store. We've just done an Aston Martin DB5 full scale that you can sit in and take photos and stuff. That was one of the projects that I was leading from PMD. Is how can we do something with a bigger impact than just the product on shelf? And we've done that with a lot of IP partners. But putting things specifically in a certain magazine in a certain month and stuff, that's more coincidental.
Okay. All right. That's good. We've got No Lag here as well, folks. No Lag. Lovely to see you.
Hi.
Hi, No Lag. No Lag, have you got a new T-shirt?
Yeah.
Well, show us it then. Come on, show us it. It looks really good. It's lovely and bright and yellow.
Hang on a sec. We'll move this around so you can see.
Oh, Naomi's here as well. Hi, Naomi.
Hi, Naomi.
There we go. Let's take a look at that.
Nice.
Jump. That's like a stunts top, that is. It looks well cool. He's getting muscles, Si. Your son's getting muscles.
I know he's a big lad now.
I'm just saying, about 100 streams ago, I noticed that you always used to put him, like, sit him up on your legs and stuff like that. Is he a bit too heavy to do that now?
He's way too. I think that's why the chair squeaks now.
As long as it is only the chair that's squeaking, that's the main thing, I suppose.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Indeed. Oh, and
So
Nolag, how are you doing?
Oh, it's Greg asked you a question.
Yeah, how are you, Nolag? Did you have a good week at school?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
A bit more from.
What excites you more, school or playing Fortnite?
Playing Fortnite.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. And how are you, Naomi?
Good.
Oh, did you have a good week at school, Naomi?
Yeah.
Oh, good stuff. I heard through the grapevine that you had very good school reports. Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, well done. Congratulations. Well done. That's it. That's it. Keep your parents happy. Key stakeholders when you're at school, they really are. I said a bit.
Say hi to Craig as well.
Hi, Craig.
And say hi to Nicole.
Hi, Nicole. Hi.
And say hi to the Brick Bods.
Hi, Brick Bods.
And say hi to Chris.
Hi, Chris.
He's a new guy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And say hi to the guy, BricksceneTV Rich.
Rich.
Yeah. And say hi to Cabbage.
Hi, Cabbage.
Hello.
Jesse is over here.
Hi, Jesse.
And just quickly, Mark said hello, and Echo Brick said hello. Say hi, Echo.
Hi, Echo.
Hi, Lester.
Hi, Lester.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Bricklicker.
Hi, Bricklicker.
And yeah, so that's pretty cool. So everyone looks great, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nolik's doing really well in his spellings and his maths at the moment, or as you say in America, math.
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 Another Americanism. It's fair enough, though, and it's fair enough. Jesse, is that set that you've just built tonight?
Yeah, so I got the Dodge Charger done. It is amazing.
Give us an honest review of it. Just imagine Chris isn't here.
Block the camera.
It's probably the craziest, best techniques I've ever seen in a car. It's amazing.
Wow, thank you very much.
The roller skate door handle, awesome. I mean, that's a little detail, but the way the front is like built upside down, and the way the mixel joints hold the trunk in, or whatever.
I love their upside down builds. They do those.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, my favorite car.
Look at that beast of a intake on the front of that. Now, talking of beasts, Richard, you've built one as well tonight. What have you? You've built another beast. Look at it. Look at the size of that thing. It's good, isn't it?
Mm.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, man.
I like it.
All right.
My favorite though is still the project one.
What was the project one, dude? Oh, the one I can never pronounce.
The one that came with the Formula One car. Yeah, the one that Craig's just built. That's my favorite.
That.
That or the back of the Aston. The lights on the back of the Aston I really liked as well. So yeah,
there's some really.
I liked the front of this Koenigsegg. I liked the use of the. I don't know, what is it? A chopping knifey thing.
Meat cleaver.
That's the one. Thank you.
Oh, really? A meat cleaver?
Yeah, it's that splitter is a meat cleaver. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Really clever.
I like it. Has that got a wing on it as well? Like down the center, your forefinger is on it. It looks like at the back. There's something going down the center to the wing.
That's the spoiler.
Yeah.
That is a big spoiler, man.
It's a big old ironing board, that one.
It really is, isn't it? I'll tell you what. It's an expensive ironing board as well, by the way. Imagine that.
Just not easy
Lovely.
to spell Koenigsegg, though, is it?
Well, I can't say it. Do you know it's 21 degrees in your room at the moment?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yes, it's good, isn't it? Yeah, just wondering. 21 degrees. I like it. I love the fact as well you've got the Christmas decorations up already.
Yeah, I can't get it down, so it just stays up.
Been there all year, yeah.
Yeah, he nailed it in.
Yeah, did Ian put it up there for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got his webcam above it.
just to keep your little beady eye on you. Okay, let's have a couple more quick questions.
Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Nolag.
Bye, Nolag. Smell you later.
Bye, Nolag.
Bye, Nomi. Bye. Bye.
Aw.
See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
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 Bye, Naomi. Bye, Naomi. Bye, Naomi.
Bye.
Soon as Nellad comes on, I can hear her running from the top of there.
It's cute. It's really cute, honestly. Okay, here we go. So, Minifico, he says, if they did Fab 1, which Chris, you alluded to earlier on as being one of your favorites, would it be the original from the 60s or the new one from Thunderbirds Are Go?
Oh, well, I'd have to do the classic, wouldn't you? That's the one that I'm familiar with.
Right answer, Chris. Right answer. Everyone's nodding.
What minifigure there? Parker or Lady Penelope?
You'd have to do two.
Hey.
There we go. We'd like that. It's
Like,
easy.
Nobody said you only have to have one. If, for example, if you were to do Ghostbusters, which Ghostbuster would you pick? You'd have to have all
Venkman.
four.
Yeah.
Straight away.
It's got to be done. It's got to be done. We love it, honestly. Honestly, we love it. I tell you one thing, Chris, that we everyone has enjoyed tonight is definitely your candidness. That's for sure, 100%. Minark sends a question as well. He says, "Question: What would you consider released color variations or special editions of existing Speed Champion cars?" Oh, okay. So like they've done that with the Fiat, or as our American friends call it, Fiat. They come out with a sky blue one as opposed to a yellow one. Would you ever do like a recolor or anything like that? Because you did it with the Porsches.
Once.
Yeah, you did it with these, didn't you?
The Porsche, yeah.
And that was pretty cool.
Well, with the Porsche, so with the white Porsche, that's because everybody kept saying they liked when we did it in the double pack, but they really wanted it as a standalone. So we said, okay, we'll try it. However, when we did it, if you'll notice, all of the stickers are transparent.
Yes.
So you can, if you want, I'm not saying you should, I'm just saying that maybe I considered if you want it in red, blue, green, whatever, you can do that and the stickers will also work.
Very cool.
And if you look at a lot of the iconic cars we're doing, like the classic Chevy or even the Countach and stuff, a lot of the stickers are transparent. So if you want it in a different color, you can do that.
Brilliant. And I really love the part. I can't wait to see you do potentially another one of these in the future, because then we'd have it in the 6 stud, the 8 stud, and of course the kind of creator expert 18+ one as well, which is awesome. So it really is, folks. Last question of the night. Brick Clicker. He says, do the Speed Champion designers ever work with the Technic team when working on the flagship hypercars to help with design?
What do you mean work with? Because we don't design
collaborate. Do you ever
collaborate in terms of if they're looking at a new car, they will get my input or the team's input.
Yeah.
Because for example, we've worked with a lot of IP partners that they haven't. So same with Creator as well. So for example, with the Creator, the Porsche 911 you just mentioned, I'd worked with Porsche quite a lot before that. So I was in the first meetings about that product and about can we do that product and introducing the Porsche team to the Creator expert team.
Wow.
And it's the same with Technic. So Technic's introduced me to different IP partners. When we worked with Lamborghini in the beginning in 2020, you'll notice that was the same time we were launching the Scion. So we went down and we visited Lamborghini with Technic and Speed Champions combined so that we could basically not do 2 meetings. We could all just talk about what opportunities could Lego present, because you guys see us as Speed Champions and Technic and Creator Expert and stuff. We're just Lego. So that's why I can't build a Technic model, because that stuff's like engineering. But we definitely work with each other. We're one giant design team. We just happen to be on different sub projects. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's it. Well, you all kind of, and it depends, I suppose, where a project is at a particular time to where the resources go. But there's always key members of those teams, like yourself and Cern, was it? Kern, who's your partner?
So my partner in crime is Cern Duhoin. So anybody who wants to see him, he is the face of Lego Masters Denmark. So every year, that's great for him, and I'm really happy for him. But every year, that means I lose him for several months, and he goes into the world of fame. So yeah, But no, he's just celebrated. We just last week celebrated his 25th years anniversary at Lego. He's
amazing.
He's the perfect partner in crime. We're constantly challenging each other. We're two very stubborn, competitive guys. So everything he can do, I think I can do better. Everything I can do, he thinks he can do better. And that's how we push each other to always try and improve Speed Champions. And we wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, brilliant, amazing. And maybe one day we'll be able to get you both on or something like that. That would be kind of cool. Especially for next year. That would be kind of cool when the new waves are coming out. Sorry, Richard, what was you going to say, dude?
No, I was going to say, before you finish up the questions, I've got a question I want to ask. Is there a vehicle that you've gotten 99% of the way there and realized that there's an element that you just can't finish that car? Is there any vehicles that are still on the table that you've gotten so far that you simply just can't finish it up and get it out there?
The DB5 was one. The DB5 would not have been possible, or at least I wouldn't have been able to achieve the DB5 without the inverted slope with the cutout. That was designed for that car but the same as all Speed Champions elements, it's designed with long-term use. I would say the hardest car before that we just couldn't really crack was the one you just picked up, the Porsche 911, the white car. I started designing that car in 2015, the end of 2015, to hopefully maybe be an opportunity for 2016 for the second wave of Speed Champions. And we just couldn't get it right. And that goes back to what I said at the beginning is we really do want to do these vehicles justice. Even when we were doing the 6 wide, which 8 wide is still a caricature because it's never going to be a die cast, but 6 wide was more of a caricature. But we couldn't get it too correct. So we had to wait until I think it was 2018 to launch that car after we'd spent more time just refining it and getting it more accurate. And also having more designers to actually take a look at it and see if they can crack the equation. So those are two that come to mind straight away. But there's always one part of every car that's a real head scratcher. Whether that's how do you do the roll cage on the Ford Bronco, because there's no windshield. So how do you support the roof, but you can't attach the roll cage to the roof, for example? So there's a lot of those things on every single car that you've got to figure out. On the AMG one that you just held up, how do you get that airplane wing in the car? Because I know that I want the tip of it.
Genius.
Yeah, so I did that one. So I didn't do the complete car. I was working with my friend Windsor, who moved off to onto Avatar. But getting that wing in there, that was my contribution to that car. And the trick is that that's how we come up with using a meat cleaver, for example, like you highlighted, is we'll go through all the elements and we'll say, okay, this 10% of this element is exactly what we need. Now I need to figure out how do I hide the 90% I don't need within the model. And that's how do I rotate it 32.5 degrees to get it exactly where I need it to be. So that's where the headaches come. So
that was genius, that fin. As I said, that was probably one of the first Speed Champions when I decided to start building them. And I picked it up, I was like, what the hell is this doing? And then fold it round. I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That was, absolute genius. Absolute genius.
There's some, one of my favorite things that you've done this year on the Speed Champion side of things is how here on the Countach, how these then moved round. So you got the perfect angle for them being in place, and how there was the front section went on as well, how it went on underneath, and the way it connected in. It's genius.
This was a 2-part car. So this was me and CERN. So the shaping and the accuracy, CERN deserves 100% the credit. And then CERN went and he did a little TV show that I mentioned called Lego Masters. And that ended up on my desk and I had to finalize it. So the front and figuring out how to get that the right position and making sure it was buildable and everything and stable, that's where I contributed. But the aesthetics and figuring out those angles at the back you mentioned, and I saw there was a question in the chat about the meat cleaver and stuff. That's the kind of craziness that CERN comes out with. So every time it's like, oh, we can't crack this. And then, well, do you remember that element from 5 years ago that was used as a minifigure, I don't know, handkerchief? Why don't we use that? That's where CERN comes in. Because he just pulls it out of his pocket and we all look at him just like, what are you going to do with that?
Brilliant.
So yeah.
It sounds amazing. Yeah, it sounds like you got a great team behind you there, Chris, as well, and Kern as well. So,
Greg, can I just ask Chris one quick question?
Yeah, go for it.
There's a lot of talk about Thunderbirds, and every time, I mean, there was another Lego designer on with us before. We were talking about Thunderbirds a lot, and I know you weren't going to say I can't talk about it, but I know that Thunderbirds production team were in Billund 2-3 years ago as well, and I know you're going to say I can't talk about it, but isn't it very interesting? There's a lot of talk about Thunderbirds, and they visited Lego and everything. And wouldn't it be brilliant if something from Thunderbirds did actually come out? Because I know it takes about 3 years sometimes for something to come out. Yeah, I like when people do that because it's a kind of a maybe.
I can talk about it.
I see.
Because there's no plans to do anything with Thunderbirds. But what I would say is that going back to where we first started, this job is so fortunate because we get people like the Thunderbirds team in to give us presentations. And because we are a design company, we do the same with other companies out there where we might go and visit them and do presentations to them about how we design products. They come to our company as well. So we've had people from Pixar or the guys who do Wallace and Gromit or the guys who did Thunderbirds. And I was there, because you'll notice when you talk to designers, you're probably talking about my colleague Sam, who's a really good friend of mine from Lego Ideas team, because we're all from the same generation, and there is a bunch of us who's kind of just British lads. We grew up on that, so just like you guys will say, like, "Oh, why don't you do this car? Because that's my dream car." We're also saying, like, "Why don't you do this? Because this is what I grew up on as a child." So, yeah, we get presentations from different companies. We were fortunate, at least I was, that Thunderbirds was a team that came and they showed us how they did the puppetry and things, and that was fantastic because we got to see the props and actually like get photos holding like Thunderbird 4 was huge, in real life it's really big, so that was fantastic. So definitely like Thunderbirds is on my bucket list, but it's not up to me. But every car that we've mentioned today, like I could go on a tangent about Back to the Future and Ecto 1 Ghostbusters or Scooby-Doo or Herbie. I mean, who doesn't if you think of a VW vehicle in Speed Champions, you've got to do Herbie. So it's my stance is always never say never, because for me personally, I would want to do everything now, but we just can't. But I wish we could. I just as soon as you say those kind of cars, I question. I really wonder how I would do the fully transparent dome on the Fab One, or Herbie. How do you just crack the shape of a VW at Speed Champion scale? How small would it actually have to be in scale with the other 8 wide cars on Speed Champions and still fit 2 minifigures? Is that even possible? Because when we did it with the Mini Cooper, we had to make it 5 wide to get it kind of in proportions. For example, would that be the same for a VW? Or if we were to do like the Italian job,
yeah, that would be.
What size would a Mini be? Would it need to be 6? How would you fit 2 minifigures? All those questions come to my mind, and that's where my excitement comes from. Because I don't know how to do it, which makes me want to find out how would you do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when I was going to do Fab One, I was actually going to use the canopy from the Galaxy Squad because they had the big domed canopies on the ships. Yeah, I brought all the pink bricks, but never got around to doing it.
Oh, you should.
Now, talking of other cars out there as well, I finished the survey. Thank you, everybody who voted on that. In top spot, actually joint top spot, to be honest, the 2 top cars that came out tonight, and we had, I think it was 73 votes. We had the unsurprising, probably to you, Chris, the DeLorean came top, but also joint top with it as well was Knight Rider. Third place with 24% was the Lotus Esprit from James Bond.
Oh, good choice.
And I do as well. I think it would be a corker. Basically, this with no wheels, isn't it? It's a bit like that. It's a bit an easy one, Chris. You crack it out in a day. And then you got the VW Beetle from Herbie. got 15%, which is, that's fairly reasonable. Everyone seems to like them. So thank you everybody for voting on there. Thank you for everybody in the panel for being here tonight as well. But Jesse, let's start with you and let's sweep round as well, because I've got another stream to get to in a minute. We'll just find out what you guys and girls are up to in the next week or so.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, go for it, mate.
The D&D challenge on Lego Masters couldn't come more timely. I was already building like D&D modulars, so look for my Lego Ideas Wizard Tower,
timing.
which nice. I spruced it up a little bit and put it on Lego Ideas just in the last couple of days, and it's starting to gain some speed. I also put the tavern on there, so I don't think you can.
That's nice.
You can't because it's a challenge, and maybe you guys know how this works already, but you can't gain supporters, but you can leave a comment. So leave a comment on, I think Ollendorf has some builds in there too. So anybody on the stream, go support us on Lego Ideas in the D&D challenge.
Wicked. All right, good stuff. Is that D&D? Is that Daredevil? Is that what that means? Or was it, mate? What does it
Dungeons and Dragons.
Dirty Den. Is that Dirty Den? Is that what it stands for? Can't imagine that being very low.
He's not in the Hellfire Club, is he?
Cabbage. Other than trying to stay alive, what else are you going to be doing this weekend, mate?
I'm building some non-Lego on Twitch tomorrow because I cheat on Lego all the time. So I'm building a tank, Macarva. Arguably one of the best tanks in the world, which is a Kobe set. So that'll be on Twitch 2:00 tomorrow. Chris, if you ever want some weird techniques and stuff, pick up a Kobe set and you'll find some weird, wonderful techniques of how to use bricks. That's my tip to you there.
Well, I got to be honest, right, Chris? You probably do look.
You probably
at
do
other
anyway,
toy manufacturers. So let's put it that way. That we look at other toy manufacturers. So yeah, I mean Lego. I mean, yeah, there are others out there, folks, and we are a community, so we got to support everyone. That's what it's all about.
You make it sound like I'm weird or something.
Well, Kobe minifigures are a bit like, but
they're horrible.
What can we say? They're horrible.
They are not.
They are. They're horrific.
They're different.
They're different.
You know.
I like it. Mr. O'Connor, you came out of I think it was this week, wasn't it? A video, or was it last week? You came out with a video of a Lego haul from me. You got anything coming up this week, my friend?
Just going to do some shorts, get those kicked out, and then on the weekend I will be at LegoCon in the basketball arena in Tala. I'll be there with Jessica Farrell from Lego Masters Season 1 and from the UK, Patrick from Season 2 Lego Masters UK. So we're all going to be hanging out and come over and say hello if you've got tickets, and if you don't, I think it's mainly sold out, but I'll be putting videos out, and I think the others will be as well. So yeah, just check out the socials, as they say.
All right, good stuff, Si. Thank you for that. What about you, BrickScene? You've been doing a few bits and pieces with the old Avatar sets, the old reviews and stuff like that. You got anything coming out this weekend, or maybe doing a live stream or two? What's going on?
I'm committing to nothing, but I probably will do a review on the Tree of Souls thing. But I do want to take this opportunity, because it's probably my last opportunity, to tell you a couple of cards I really want to see in Speed Champions. All right, 1971 to 1976 Toyota Celica, the TA22 RA23, because I've got one in the garage and I really want a Lego one to go with my car. But I'd also like to see some mid-90s rally cars as well.
Oh, good choice.
5 Subaru.
Colin McRae ones or something like that.
Colin McRae one, yeah. The Lancer and all that sort of stuff. Admittedly, they've all got tobacco sponsoring on them, so you'd have to find a way around that. But
well, if you look at the Audi SP1 that we did, the Audi S1, that's meant to have tobacco branding on every panel of the car, on the doors, on the bonnet, on the sides and stuff, and on the roof. We just didn't do it.
You just got a way around it.
No, that's
I just thought I'd get that in there because it's my last opportunity, and it's been nice having you here, man. So
that's cool. That's cool. But no, Chris, I'm gonna ask you this. I know you don't do YouTube or anything like that normally. You probably never do it again after this. But are you doing anything over the weekend of interest, like Lego wise, or are you just gonna be coming up with some mad ideas?
Not Lego wise, just watching. Well, after this, I'm gonna watch Werewolf by Night.
Yeah,
and then the rest of the weekend, just relaxing before Monday.
Yeah, okay.
Watching you guys online.
I'm going to watch that tomorrow. I'm going to watch Strictly Come Dancing tomorrow, folks. In case you wonder what I do watch, and then I'm going to watch that afterwards. One, of course, is my wife's choice. One, of course, is my choice. You can guess which one's my choice.
You liar!
I do like it as well, though. Very good. I do love it. Anyway, talking of two things that I love as well, these two, the Brick Bods, Ian and Carrie. Ian and Carrie, what are you up to, or what's just come out on your channel?
We'll be streaming as normal on Sunday. I'm not sure what we're doing on Sunday, but I'm sure it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And then we've just dropped a review of the Swindon show, and we've got the podcast talking all about the Swindon show. It's very Swindon heavy this week on our channel.
Swindon-tastic. I like it. I like it. Would you ever live in Swindon, seeing as you're doing so much about it?
No.
Okay. Oh, blimey. That was a definite note. Sorry. Apologies to anyone who lives in Swindon. It could be worse. You could live in Staines. Oh, that's funny. Ian's like, no. All right, fair enough. Anyway, and is the Taj Mahal, is that all been decommissioned now? Is that all?
Some of it's still on the floor, but we've been.
Of course, it's on the floor. That's where Carrie throws everything.
It's building Avatar. I've been taking apart.
Oh, there we go. Another one is Avatar one. We should have got an Avatar designer on as well. Look at that. Yeah. It's nice, isn't it?
I built this set as well.
Nice.
That's good.
You made the Taj Mahal sound like it was a nuclear weapon, decommissioned.
Sorry, it's the only word. Deassemblize or something like that.
You used the Taj Mahal in the coral reef.
Yeah.
Hey, sacred.
I've got vertically mounted base plates, and to do that, you have to use the headlight pieces. And there are lots of headlight pieces.
I can hear you sounding like a designer. I love it. Anyway, good to see you, Ian. Lovely to have you here. Carrie, as always, as well. They're wonderful. Do check them out, folks. The Brick Bods, one of my favourite podcasts out there is, what should I say, podcast. Anyway, Nicole, aka Lady McBrick, are you doing anything fancy with Instagram this week at all? You got anything coming up? Now you sort of, chilled out and staple at home again?
I hope I can really start documenting my new Lego room, the start of it. Yeah, hopefully making progress there. Yeah.
All right, that's what it's all about. It really is. Baby steps, Nicole. Baby steps, and next thing you know, you turn around and you've made some good progress, which is what it's all about. BrickStagePass.
I hope so. Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Last chance for me to ask Chris a favor. If you have the chance, I really love the glow in the dark pieces. To sneak one in Speed Champions, I highly would appreciate it. I would love that very much.
That's a good idea. A glow in the dark car. Imagine that. Is there a set like a ghost car almost? I suppose
we did a ghost train when we did Monster Fighters, but not a ghost car.
Oh my god! So kind of loves Monster Fighters.
Were you on the team?
I was. That's when I first was hired, and the products were designed, but I had to do some of like the product test, like checking and approvals.
Oh wow, that's one of my favorite teams.
One of my favorite teams. Yeah. Yeah,
that one it is.
Yeah, I know. Sai absolutely loves it. Sai has always gone on about that. So that is a good looking.
Yeah.
All of the monsters in that product line were fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like inside Mark 1.
Not as good as the villains in Ultra Agents, that's for definite.
Ultra Agents.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to look Ultra Agents.
Villains and Ultra Agents.
Best minifigures ever.
Really? Ultra Agent. I'm gonna have to check it out, man. Ultra Agents. Anyway, talking of someone ultra, BrickStagePass. Are you up to anything this weekend, my friend? Maybe with a certain brother or something like that. I don't know.
I'm at a show tomorrow, so I'm at BrickLinks tomorrow in Lincoln. So I've got to get up early and travel to Lincoln, and the Wayne Tower's going into the Lug City, so part of the Lug display.
Yeah.
So I'll be there all day. So I'll miss Cabbage's stream. So typical. And I just put a Lego City update number 4 out as well, which.
I saw that it was premiering at 7.
Yeah,
I could. Yeah. I was too busy trying to not get me hair wet. Go between the house and here, mate. It was absolutely chucking it down. It really was. It was. It's a nightmare. It really was.
Oh, I don't doubt you, Greg. I don't doubt you one bit.
It's even harder when you're doing it in slippers and you're trying not to fall over, and you've got the Destiny Bounty in one hand and a torch in the other, and a coffee in your little finger. It's a frigging nightmare, folks. It's not easy being your Lego YouTuber.
Are you wearing slippers right now, Greg? Can we see them?
Am I wearing slippers right now? I might be.
If you haven't slipped them off.
What I will say is my slippers are not as good as Cabbage's slippers. That's for sure. Mine are much more. How can I put it? Marks and Spencers. Have you got your slippers on, Cabbage?
No, my tank slippers are on top of the wardrobe.
I like the little knobbly bits on the front of them.
That's called a turret.
I know. But then one's got all
slippers.
One's got all soft and crinkly, and I thought, what's the colour of that?
I'm going to behave myself at this point because
I was going to say, just out of curiosity, what would happen, right, if you put those tank slippers on the wrong foot? I mean, would you kind of like creep in a different direction or something like that? Or is that why one's potentially got like a crinkled turret?
What the hell are we on about?
I don't know. I don't know.
I've obviously gone a bit too far. I've lost the audience at that point. All right, I'll rein it back in again. Well, anyway, look, BrickStagePass. Actually, I want to talk about, tell people what I'm up to. Actually, make a nice change, wouldn't it? Well, I'm up to nothing. Actually, I'm on holiday next week, folks. So you will see me back doing London Calling 141 next week with again another packed panel of peeps from all over the world. They will be, which is kind of exciting. I might get a short video out this week. I actually built a set on the hottest ever recorded day in Britain on a beach, and I still haven't edited it up yet. I really should do that, and I will do it this week, folks. I will do it. It was a good day. It really was.
It was 21 degrees.
It was 21, dude. It was like 47. I was on Discord. I came on Discord with you lot as well at the time. I was like, "Hey, guess what I'm doing?" Anyway, things I do, even if it means I get sunburned. The Lego didn't melt. That's the main thing. But anyway, on that note, thank you, BrickStagePass, for being here tonight. Nicole, lovely to see you. Love the new hairstyle, by the way. I can see the red underneath all that. It's very nice. I like that. Good use of the straighteners. Brick Bods, lovely to see you as well. Hopefully you get some chance to tidy up that room as well. Chris, lovely to see you. Thank you for being so candid tonight.
Amazing,
dude. Honestly, this is a revelation. It really is. And we look forward to hopefully having you on again one day soon as well. BrickScene, thank you for being here, mate. Richard, lovely to see you, mate. Been great to have you, and great that you had an extra hour's lane as well. So Connor, lovely to see you, my friend. Thank you for all the questions as well.
Thanks for having me on. Sorry I hijacked your show.
No, that's fine, mate. Don't worry. I think we're about evened on questions. Cabbage, thank you for just being a beautiful man. That's all I can say. And Jesse,
no worries.
Thanks for coming on and showing us your big tower that you built. It looks amazing, mate. It really does.
Appreciate the invite.
Do check it out, folks. Do check out Jesse on Dungeons and Dragons on the Legos Ideas website, folks. He's a good guy. And thank you, everybody else out there, for being here tonight. The likes, of course, of Minart, King Oldendorf, Axel Zabadak. He's going to be on next week, folks. Not had him on before. Red Carnage, Missy Bricks, Macro, Seymour Bricks, Aston Martin Fan. That's a cool name, especially for tonight's stream. Clicking Cliff, Echo Bricks, Family Bricks, to name but a few. Take care, folks. Have a wonderful weekend. If you're going to build any speed champions, send me some pictures. We'll show them off next week. Take care. Look after yourself.
So, Chris, that we're going to have some credits and stay here.
I told him. We've told him all about it, Si. He's well abreast. I know they normally bugger off, but they won't.
Yeah, and we're like, where's he gone to?
Basically, if Chris isn't there, once the credits have rolled, we know he didn't like it.
Yeah, we got the hints then.
Anyway, folks, do yourselves a favour. Get yourself a speed champion set. You know it makes sense. Hope you enjoyed tonight. Maybe we do it again another day soon. Take care. Look after yourselves. And don't forget Lego. It's a wonderful thing. And each and every one of you lovely people out there are too. Take care. And I will see you very, very soon. Cheerio. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Those avatar sets are really good. You get an overdose of glow in the dark pieces.
Love you, Si.
Broom, broom, broom.
Love you, Craig. I love you, Cabbage, especially when you're all sweaty.
See you later, Jesse.